The following content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you.
Pacific414 Pop Talk is here. Sit back and relax and join the conversation. We've got Baron, Orman, Tagge, Cash Money 007, and even Mike too. Pop culture, entertainment, news and reviews. Discussions are had, opinions made from the panel to the chat. Everyone is welcome here. Reactions, watch parties, and special guests. We like to have a good time. Pacific414 Pop Talk is underway. Pull up a seat, we're inviting you to stay. Articles, collectibles, reviews, you say. Baron, Cash, and Mike bring the fun tonight. Now sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Don't forget to like or comment below. We almost forgot to share out the show. Pacific414 Pop Talk is one of a kind. It's true. True. It's true. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to this edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk, where today's special guest will be Lord Krit of Everest Productions, along with Baron Orman Tagge, Cash Money 007. I am your host, Mike. It's good to see everybody. Hope everybody had a nice Easter holiday. Of course, we did have an edition of Pop Talk that was pre-recorded, and it was available to everybody live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. So if you haven't been able to catch that episode yet, please go back, watch that episode, let us know what you think, leave comments, leave likes, share it out. But for today, we do have our special guest, Lord Krit of Everest Productions, who has worked very hard on his channel, very hard working on his Star Wars fan films. He's also done different things with Batman. He's a huge Godzilla fan, and also he likes season 1 of Arcane. We'll ask him what he thought about season 2 of Arcane and a few other things that our guests would like to talk about. But first, before we do that, Baron, Cash, how are you guys doing?
You cut all my good stuff out Sunday.
I cut out a few things Sunday, a few errors from my own self.
Oh, man.
Because when I downloaded it and put it into my video editor, I saw how long it was, and I was watching it and going through it again to see what I need to keep, what I need to take out, and also I stayed up till almost 3 o'clock in the morning editing that sucker.
Wow. Now that's either perfectionism or insanity. I vote for both.
Well, I mean, I don't have anybody that I can pay to edit the videos, so when you don't have someone that you can pay to edit the video, you got to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, how are you guys doing? Do you guys have a nice Easter? Since we haven't talked to each other since we recorded that episode?
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice
But
food.
I tell you what, though, I really feel for you, Mike. Oh, this morning I never sneezed so much in my life than I did this morning. And of course, all the pollen and all this, like, where the heck did this come from? So the fact that I was put into your shoes and this whole thing only will make me mock you even more. Because I have
really? You're gonna start mocking me now. You don't have any empathy or any sympathy. It's like, no, I'm gonna mock him now because now I'm dealing with the pollen. And
I already had been, but now it's even going to be more so because now we're compadres. We're brothers in this battle against the pollen, against
Yeah,
the evil spring.
especially the pine pollen that we get around here. It's like you come out of the house the next morning. It's like, well, crap, we got a dusting. Your car's covered, everything else is covered in this neon yellow pollen, and it's like, well, we were attacked.
It's like Richard Simmons farted on your car, right? Yeah. Whoa, whoa, where did that come from? I'm sorry. I'm so very, very sorry. Number one, I'll go stand in the corner now. Hey, the big thing is too. We were talking and had been talking about the six twat waffles in space and how they insist on being called astronauts. And I don't know what possessed me to do this, but something popped up and I looked on Wikipedia
Mm-hmm.
on Blue Origin and all that. Do you know what they list all the people that go flying up into space as?
Billionaires?
Nope, tourists,
Hmm.
which means cargo.
Wait. Say that again, Baron. Say that
Tourists,
again.
tourists.
Tourist, you say.
Mhm.
Tourist, you say, huh?
The hell you say?
Exactly. So I
You
thought I'd
mean
reach
they,
out
they
to you.
don't list them as astronauts, space
Um,
explorers, but
maybe Astro
tourists?
nuts. Yeah. Oh yeah, tourist. Yeah. Which is nothing wrong with that. You're an astro tourist. I mean, I'll let them
Mm-hmm.
put astro in front of it. But you're just a tourist in space.
Just a passenger on
Uh,
on a
but
on a glorified schlum.
yeah. Well, now you know why Katy Perry was smiling and kissed the ground when she came back. Whoa, where did that come from?
Hey-oh!
I'm sorry, number one. I'm so very, very sorry. I'll go sit in my corner now.
But did you and the Lawn Suffering have a nice Easter holiday together?
Didn't see her because she worked. I didn't get to see her until Monday.
Damn, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, we're used to it. She's been since I've known her in the medical field, and there's no such thing as holidays in the medical field.
No.
Mhm. I mean, we tried, but for some people, the hold my beer group people, yeah, they get upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was a registered nurse for over 30 years, so
Hmm.
she worked a lot of holidays, and
Hmm. But she got extra pay for it, so I'm not complaining.
she did, and that
So,
extra pay helps.
yep. So I had my Easter dinner. I opened up a bag of budding ham, some cheese, some cheese, potato chips to make up for the au gratin potatoes, and sat down, and then for dessert I had a Twinkie, banana cream filled one.
Well,
So
why
it was a
not?
good, yeah. So it was a
Why
good
not
one.
have a sponge cake?
Hmm. Okay, I'm not
Huh,
gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
he's
I already.
behaving for the moment.
Well, I hadn't been. I just figured, okay, I'm not gonna push any further just yet. I have to save most of my zingers for Lord Krit of Everest production.
Yeah. And how about you, Cash Money 007? Hell of a game last night, wasn't it?
That was crazy, man.
Well,
I'm not trying to be facetious or funny. I mean, hell of a game.
I'm not. The stupid rule can go in our favor, my favor. Yeah, it was a cuckoo game, but Dodgers should have found a way to win it. But
Yeah,
baseball's
well, the
so
Cubs shouldn't have
crazy.
blown their lead, and
Yeah,
then have to get that home run in the ninth from Miguel Amaya to send it to extras.
yeah. That series is tied 3-3 right now, so we'll see what
Mm-hmm.
happens later today. But it's a bullpen game, so for the Dodgers, it will. Unfortunately, they have a few injuries. I'm not making excuses, but bullpen
Oh
games
no,
can be
but
tough. Um,
yes, you are.
and see that's the thing that's going on with the Cubs too right now. We have pitchers on the IL, and we're going to be without Justin Steele for the rest of the season. We got a report that Javier Assad, who was rehabbing down in Iowa tweaked something during his rehab start yesterday, so we're going to be
Oh.
without him. And the Cubs traded for Drew Pomeranz, but I don't know how he's going to help our bullpen.
Mm. So, Cash,
Um,
Cash, did your world famous LA Dodgers or whatever the heck they're called now? Did they bring the nuns out in the
no,
bowl to the
No,
ball?
no, no.
Why
But
no,
didn't
you
that
want to know
shit,
what happened
that crap
before
didn't
last
happen.
night's game?
Hmm.
No.
There was a parade of Dodger fans going down Waveland and walking by Wrigley Field, saying, "Let's go Dodgers! Let's go Dodgers!"
Yeah,
And they had a banner.
there's a lot of Dodger fans. They're all over
Yeah,
every stadium now. But the Padres don't allow them to sit in certain places. They're a bunch of assholes. The Padre organization. They don't want people to. They want to basically pack the stadium with more Padre fans. They don't want a certain number of the opposing team in the stands, Baron. I wish this was a joke, but it's true. So
Well, I think there was
well,
a time when they tried doing that before too. So,
yeah, I don't
if
know.
the Padre fans in San Diego were as loyal as they claim to be, they'd show up to each and every game, win or lose. But they don't.
Yeah, I don't. They act
the
like they're.
the only time they've ever shown up to support the Padres, and I can say this having been born and raised in San Diego for the first 19 years of my life. The only time Padre fans ever support their team is when the Padres are winning and in first place.
is this fascinating? You sitting in the green room listening to all this? Just
But before we do bring our guest in, Cash, did you have a nice Easter?
Yes, it's pretty nice with the family. It was quiet, and helped my mom with dishes and helped get the food ready and things like that. So yeah, but it was nice.
being
Nice.
productive.
And I do want to say hello to Jason Fox of 540 Studio, who
Uh,
says Rebel Moon is a 10 out
eh,
of 10.
yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
I know Krit has
You
a
and the 10
differing
people
opinion.
who probably believe. You know what? There may be like 3 people in the world who actually believe that, Jace. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
However you feel.
two of which is Zack Schneider voting twice.
And it's also good to see Tim, also known as FKHC 2005, who asked me, "Hope you enjoyed the Star Trek clip I sent you." Yes, and you will actually be seeing that very same scene this Saturday. We'll get more into that at the end of the show. And we also have DJ Ronnie G. Thank you, DJ, for joining me Saturday along with the Pat I Wannabe for the member stream. Had a good time talking with you gentlemen and hope to do more of that next month.
Nerd.
And Tim says, idea for a watch party. Just terrific. Cartoon All Stars to the rescue.
Oh.
I'm sure there's a version of it on YouTube. And DJ Ronnie G says, is that one of those 100 ways to infringe copyright movies? Sort of like Daikon. And of course, he provides the link to Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue. Yeah, I remember that. I watched it.
Oh,
I remember seeing
everyone,
Garfield, the Muppet Babies, Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And you want to know what it was? It was a Just Say No ad. Just say no to drugs.
mm-hmm. Say yes to pizza. It's better to die of cholesterol than
Cowabunga,
it is of
dude.
drugs. Yeah, but but be careful. There should be an advisory before clicking that link. That's all I got to sit back and
Yeah. And let's see. From the Just Say No era. And good afternoon to Tim. Let's see what else are they saying in the chat. I'm reinstalling
Retro Arc.
Retorch. RetroArch.
Retro
Oh,
Arc.
oh.
Yeah.
see. Okay,
Nice spelling there, DJ. Come on, man.
he talks better than.
Hey. We all make mistakes when we're
Fix your
typing.
fix your mistake, DJ. Come on, man. Ask your turtles.
Oh,
Come
nice,
on.
nice. That's one of the topics that DJ was talking about Saturday during the member stream was some of the scanline filters he's been working on. He showed actually the 8-bit Sonic the Hedgehog and showed the difference with and without the scan lines. And
Mm.
so it's good to know that you're making progress on that, brother.
Scan line or tan lines? Just wanted to make sure I heard
Scan
that.
line,
I
Dan.
know,
Scan
I
line.
know.
And let's see what else is being said in the chat. I'll definitely check it out after I watch something good today, Tim. And he's referring to that clip. We also have Jet Sparks 373 in the chat who says listening while back in the swing of writing after grinding GTA on Xbox. No problem.
Which one?
And could be GTA 5, but I'm just making a guess
That's
there.
that's my guess. But it might be 4. It might be 6. You never know. Maybe you got a link.
And DJ Running G says I was thinking about hiring an editor for a monthly vid. Yep. I mean, if I could do it, I would hire somebody to edit my videos, but I can't do it. I got to do it myself. And then hope that when I take something out, that it's not taken away from the conversation too much. No, really, even when I was
I know.
rewatching, I had to make sure, no, can't cut this out because then it loses translation because
Hmm.
you don't get all the story or you're only getting a little bit of the story and not the whole thing.
I only chuckle in sympathy. Trust me. It's like continuity. This is where
Yeah,
continuity errors come across. It's like, yeah, it can be very easy. You get so wrapped up in what you're doing, and you know everything so intimately, you forget that you take something out that you think does have context, but doesn't. Does that make
and
sense?
thank you for posting that. Yes, it does because again, I when we were talking when we recorded it, I was telling you guys, okay, Cash, I want you to read this article. Baron, I want you to read that article. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget to edit that out.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, that'd be some cool behind the scenes stuff, but
I would love it. It's just us typically making sausage for the audience. It's like,
yeah.
why should we change for a pre-recorded program?
They were going down. Wow. Yeah.
Whoa,
A-
whoa, 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 whoa,
And
whoa, whoa.
DJ Ronnie G says I was educated by a Californian. Yeah, that's right. That's right. He was educated by a Californian. That's right. Yeah.
Hey, is what I hear true? Did Mark Hammer finally come back to X?
He did.
Yay.
Yeah, I
Who
wasn't.
cares? Who
Oh,
cares?
It doesn't matter,
for
but
laughs. For
it just
laughs.
I thought it was funny. I had to post that. I just made me
Yeah, it's like,
laugh.
yeah, I mean, I won't say the full word. I'll just
Mark
say,
Hammer, dude,
fornicate
he's back.
yourself, Mark Hammer. How's that? Fornicate yourself, Mark Hammer.
I
Is that
just
better?
find it. They make such a big deal. It's like I'm leaving, I'm gone, and then they come back.
Well, it's better than Rosie. She was making such a big deal. I left and didn't even tell people I was leaving. Well, sure are now.
Yeah.
and, and
Uh,
you know what
And
the
now
editor say?
Ireland doesn't even want her.
Yeah, they say, "Can you please take her back, please?" It's like, "No, no,
No.
no, no, no backsies, no backsies. Have fun, enjoy."
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Jace, but here's my thing. I'll admit it to everybody. I'm hands on. I have to do the thumbnails. I have to do the editing because I know how I want the thumbnail to look. I know how I want to edit things together, especially after rewatching it, going, okay, mark here where I want to cut out, mark here where I want to cut out.
You hear that, ladies? He's hands on. Don't let him slip away from you.
And Tim says that Instagram is a Star Trek Blue origin meme. Excuse me. I'll take a look at it after the stream. But before we get even further into the stream without our special guest, I think now's a good time to bring in that special guest. What do you say, gentlemen?
Well, if that's the case,
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome tonight's special guest, swimming in from Everest Productions, Lord Krit.
Can you smell? Yeah. Hello. The good audience.
they love you,
yes.
man. They love you.
Yeah, I know. Cash Chin's big. Yes. Thank you.
The chin that'll destroy you one day. Yeah.
It will.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Sure,
I'm
pal,
not-
sure.
Isn't that it, California?
Uh, so, Krit, how you doing?
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, not a problem, brother. Not a problem.
Yeah, I was
I
up
want, I wanted to have you on for quite some time, but I didn't want to let Cash know. I had to be the one to reach out, and it's like, no, I can't tell Cash because if I tell Cash, he'll blab it to the world.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen to that nonsense. You mean Baron would? Nice try.
I,
Yeah.
I,
Oh, bullshit,
come
Baron.
on,
Bullshit.
man. Come on, man.
Yeah, bullshit.
Corn Pop's a bad dude.
Yeah.
Chin Pop's a bad dude.
So,
It's been a while since we had him on here.
yeah, I was gonna say it has been a while. I think the last time you were on Crit was when Pop Talk was celebrating a milestone.
It
That
was a
we
while
can do
ago.
it.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time, and I'm glad to be back.
So, what have you been up to since the last time you were on?
Well, I've my channel. Not to brag, my channel's grown a lot. I'm reaching. I've been working a lot on Star Wars content. That's kind
Mhm.
of become my channel mo. And then I've been in a moving situation lately, and yeah, I won an award for a fan film. I did an adaptation of Darth Plagueis.
Nice.
And I did a second episode, and it's kind of just like I've been doing just short videos, and now I'm learning how to animate and whatnot. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of very cool. So
Neat.
That is cool. And let me ask you, what got you started in doing your own fan films?
I always wanted to do fan films since I was a kid. I didn't have like the patience to do like animation and stuff, but I found a way through like video games and Gmod and stuff, and it's kind of just been really cool. And then I did some comic dubs. I did some writing. I did some stuff with Cash, and
Mhm.
uh, it's just been very fun. So, uh, yeah.
Very nice. And with a couple of these, like you mentioned, you've been working with Cash on them, and you've also asked Phil McCracken and myself to record voice lines for some of your
Yes,
projects, and
yes, I
and
have.
I do believe that's Bear's way of saying I'm available.
And
Any
What have
voice
I?
lines you
Baron,
need.
What have I ever
I,
done to you, man? Come on,
I
man.
think I asked Baron to. I think Baron did voice.
No,
Might
I
have
never
been a
did a voice.
while
You
ago.
asked me to. You asked me to, but it never came to fruition. Ooh,
Oh
that's weird.
well, the door's always open.
Okay. Well, okay. I accept. I accept.
Of course,
See
door's
how I
always
can.
open. My policy is if you leave the voice acting, the big characters to the amateur pros, and then the smaller characters, I don't like. I always try to get people involved, whether way, but it's also like a balancing act. Like
Hmm.
a lot of people, I'm starting to like learn the underside of Star Wars YouTube, and it's not pretty. Um, so I'm afraid I will say I will never go as low as to just make an AI film or try to trick people. I will never go as low to take the easy route to make content like using AI and stuff. I don't believe in AI, and the last like months I've seen AI take over people that actually put work into their stuff, and it's kind of just disheartening when you spend so much time doing all that and boom, just you don't no one really watches your stuff. They rather watch something that it's flashy but it's no substance. It's just flashy.
Hmm. Now, did
Well,
you
it's also
always
quick for them to do that.
want to do Star
I'm sorry.
Wars fan productions, or did you have something else in mind?
We're doing. I did Batman comic dubs, and I'm still doing those. I love the Batman, the original, the animated series. But I the and then like it's pretty much what I feel like doing. Uh, and then as soon as I get that feeling and I know I can do it, I was like, all right, let's start working on it. Boom, and it's kind of how it is. But I don't always want to do Star Wars content. Uh, hopefully, I'm gonna evolve. But right now, I'm just a small Star Wars. It's just kind of become generally Star Wars because that's kind of a lot what a lot of people follow me for. So
It's what you're known for, and you're sticking with that. But I'm looking at your thumbnails that you've done for your Batman content, and how closely you've gotten those thumbnails to look like they could have come from the animated series.
hmm and I actually didn't work. I didn't direct those. That was Captain George. I shared. He worked on those, and I was the producer on those though.
Okay.
So I was the one that said, "Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah." Kind of the yes man, but it's his stuff. So
Well,
But
people
go
like
ahead, Baron. Go ahead.
oh, sorry, my apologies. Would you say the people that are going out there and doing pretty much all AI, like you were saying here, is it because you expressed how much time and effort it does going in there from your actual writing, doing the animation, getting the talent together, and whatnot? Is it just the fact that they it's so quick and easy for them to do that, so they can be the first kid on the block to put something out?
yeah, and it's not like there's no like one of my pet peeves is like if you're gonna produce something quickly, you need to know the material you're doing. I've seen
Hmm.
people bait. I feel like Star Wars fans are getting fed like they're getting fed like I don't know if you've seen that SpongeBob episode where they're making Krabby Patties, but they're like in a factory and
Hmm.
SpongeBob's like, "Where's the love?" But people will eat it because it's mediocre and it looks good, but on the inside, it's all just gooey yuckiness and just
Hmm.
crap, basically.
Yeah, the Blandy
That's
episode.
and I would say like a good example is that Sky. I'll call him out because I hate the channel Skywalker Stories, the AI channel. I hate that channel with a passion because it just like produces nonstop AI slop, and that channel didn't. It's nearing 100K. I don't think it deserves that sub count. That I think that's an easy route to just like you just take an idea and then produce it in AI. Like say Luke talks to Vader, or
Hmm.
Luke cries at Pat like his mother's tomb. And then I think fans will eat that up because it's manipulative. It's trying to say, oh, it looks like live action, but then when you actually watch you don't really feel anything, and it's like, what the hell is this? What the am I supposed to like feel something from this? Not all AI videos are bad. There's some unique ones,
Yeah,
but
Hmm.
I think the
Spock does a
content
lot of
farm,
stuff with AI, especially since he's an artist and
yeah,
he then uses AI. I mean, it can be good. It's just when people think that
content farms.
they need to destroy it for it needs to go away. AI can be used for good things. There's just other stuff that
Hmm.
it's used. It does make people lazy, but it also can be good stuff too, especially if somebody wants to
Um,
make pictures and whatever. I mean, it's
yeah.
just, yeah,
I
you can
mean,
do some cool stuff with it.
there was this. I mean, some people have tried to do Plagueis AI, and I personally think it's disgusting. Uh, because like a lot of the stuff they're just taking the text from the book, but they're not doing the. If you're not going to take the context, you're just taking the text. You're losing the context. So what's the point of doing the scene other than to get fans go, "Oh my god, it's Plagueis in live action."
Kind of like the Acolyte.
Yeah, there was this one where Plagueis gets killed by Palpatine, and the AI
Mhm.
made Palpatine look like Wallace Shawn. And I was like, "Ew, did Wallace Shawn
Well,
play Palpatine in
was
this?"
was that was that was
Work,
that
my
AI?
boy. What says I
Ink.
dispose of the
Was
Jedi?
was that AI when we saw like Han Solo's face on crack or something? That one video you were showing me,
Oh,
that one
that's an
channel, yeah.
animation.
Oh, it's
That's
just
just
animation.
that's just
That
poorly
was
made.
poor. Yeah, it looked like
It's just
he was
it's
on.
good animation. It's
Yeah,
mocap, but the
hmm
characters that's just
yeah.
a
Some of them
shitty
just
3D modeler program thing. Like
okay.
You almost expect Palpatine to go inconceivable.
inconceivable.
I don't think
And
you
then
understand the meaning of that word.
um yeah, it's just I think you should take time to make your content, not
Mhm.
just try to churn it out in a day and say, "Oh, here's the video, everyone." I like to call people that like that stuff seals. Like they clap. It's just like, if they'll clap at something that if you dribble a ball in front of a seal, what the seal's gonna probably like arf 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 arf.
Well, seals have more.
I can't help myself, Krit. The
Better
fish is
taste than
so
that.
good that they toss at me.
Arf arf
well,
arf.
well, I like to think of it more as trendy slop. It's a trendy fan slop. It's like, oh, look, it's like,
Yeah.
tell us again without telling us you don't know anything about Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever. You cross
I don't believe a lot of those like scripts are made. I think they're made in Chat GPT too. It's like
Yeah.
they just spend long times. Like you have Alec Guinness, Ben Kenobi with this AI voice talking with Luke Skywalker for a long time, and it's like this most meaningless conversation that's supposed to sound deep, but
Mhm.
it's not. In reality, it's not because.
Because unlike an actual person, the AI can't emote like we
Hmm.
Yeah.
can.
I never use. I try not to use AI voice. Sometimes I'll have no choice because, like, no, like for example, in the next Plagueis, the chosen clone is still doing the voice of Palpatine, but he's gonna have a filter where he sounds more like the real actor.
Mhm.
So it makes sense because that's the because he's trying to match the cadence of that.
Yeah.
So like if you're using like AI voice like as a filter, and it's like but I'm sure some people would get like I think some AI I think they get triggered over too much, but I would never do like I always want to give opportunities to people that can do a voice. I know there's some people that can sound like Vader, there's people that can sound like Dooku, there's people that can sound like all the characters you know. You just need to give them a chance instead of just using a
Hmm.
text to speech generator, and
Well,
you'll get more emotion from that. So
well, I mean, if you're just using it also to get the tweak the voice to sound more, that's an old Hollywood trick going before AI. So it's like nothing new about that. It's just again how you use it and are you being respectful to the character, the product, the script, the story, all that across the board.
Hmm.
It's a tool, and remember, it's a tool. It's not the end all be all.
Just like the
yeah,
theme for Wednesday's Pop Talk. I use AI to create that. I put in the words and then told it what style of music I wanted it to be and listened to multiple versions before the final version that you hear every Wednesday.
And the the other stuff I do streams a lot. Today I streamed, but I privated it because I said some things some people might get triggered over. So I figured it wouldn't hurt to private the stream. But yeah, I do streams a lot, and you could become a member, a member. But you know,
Well, let's go ahead and bring up your perks.
Ooh, he's got perks.
yeah,
Orca Podding, Orca Knight, Orca Master, Orca God. Wait. Wouldn't you be the Orca God of your own channel?
I think so.
I think Solonic's the only orca god in the channel.
So, Krit, do you ever ask him, "Are you a god?"
Are you a god? Yes, if you want to become a Pillsbury Doughboy, you can become an orchid god or mushroom, marshmallow, marshmallow giant. You can become the orchid god.
Well,
Um, but yeah, when I get if I ever reach a certain amount of members, I'm gonna do members only streams. But right now, it's kind of just more of a support me thing with the
Mm-hmm.
memberships. So, but I'm glad I got the opportunity to get memberships.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe I won't ever have monetization, so it might get taken away from me. So
Well, and that's the thing that any of us who have received partial or full monetization
Yeah.
have to always think about. It could go away at a snap of a finger.
Hmm.
I can imagine something like Star Wars would be a very tricky minefield to tiptoe through in that area.
yeah. Um, there's a lot of stuff I would want to cover on my channel, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't. I don't feel comfortable doing Star Trek because, well, Paramount treats everyone like crap with that. So,
Hmm.
and I would, I don't know. Uh, I tried. I think Star Wars is safe, but I am working on a project, and I'll talk about this later. And cash is involved, but we'll get to it eventually. Um, But yeah, there's my perks, Orca God.
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
go through them again where everybody gets loyalty badges and custom emojis. And of course, members only live streams. And then if you become an Orca Knight, you get early access to new videos, member shoutouts, photos, and status updates. Members only videos, members only live streams. An Orca Master, priority reply to comments, community panels access. And then Orca God. Gameplay with you and connecting on social media.
so I will play a game with you. We'll play Fortnite or something. So, yeah, I know Cash love, or I think you guys love Fortnite, don't you?
I,
Mike used to
I,
play it, but
I
I know.
used to play it, but then I slowly lost interest.
I am gonna stream a lot the next the Star Wars event they have next month. You can now play Jar Jar Binks with Darth Jar Jar Binks as a character, so it's gonna be interesting. Um, my recent stream, I covered Celebration, which was like the
Mhm.
biggest nothing burger. Uh, um, I don't know. Should I even like do a recap of that?
If you
The
want, you're the guest. You're the guest. It's your show today.
All right. Well, with Celebration, uh, it was pretty much an embarrassing. It was a convention. I think they should have just had Celebration. Celebration is the Disney. It's not a convention. It's just like a thing where they announce these projects and then they have people like get autographs and stuff. It isn't a convention, but it's also one that they hype up too much, and it really brings nothing to the table. Um, for the most part, they announced a few things, and they're saying again that the film projects they're coming out, they're coming out, they're gonna happen. All that tooting dancing, and Kathleen Kennedy didn't like say I quit or anything. She just like said the most safe stuff. It's just the one they announced like a couple new things.
Hmm.
They announced the Ryan Gosling Rogue Squadron movie,
Yeah.
Starfighter.
but sorry, but it's set after Episode 9. So
5 years, yeah,
like
supposedly.
any enthusiasm I had for that kind of dipped when I heard that, but maybe if it's new and maybe it don't reference to anything, I don't know.
Oh, it will, I'm
And
sure.
then yeah, that was the only like they're doing a Mando and Grogu movie, which I do not care
Yeah.
for. And then Cash's favorite show, Ajoka, is coming back next year. So
Favorite show, funny.
Thrawn's gonna fight Admiral Akbar. Yay!
That's a trap.
Um, I can't watch a second season of that.
You will, Cash. You're not
No,
escaping. You're
I
gonna
can't
watch
watch
Ajoka,
it.
and you're gonna like it.
No.
Well, one thing I want to ask
um,
you, Crit, while we're on the subject of Star Wars, if you were in charge of Star Wars, what would you do differently?
well, you can't really decanonize some of
Hmm.
this stuff because it's already been settled. What I would do is I would go through and do an audit of all the stuff that worked and all the stuff that didn't work, and then just ignore all the new stuff like that didn't work. Like I went I would say the sequel trilogy era, Persona no grata, or just like imagine it didn't exist. If you gotta make references to it. Um, the Acolyte and anything with the High Republic, I would just say never happened. Or if you want, you could get James. I want to talk about the author of Plagueis because he actually talked about. He had another podcast, and I heard some stuff. He's also mistreated by Disney. No big
Mhm.
surprise. But or I would say more like forgotten by Disney, but Andor I would keep.
Hmm.
I mean, just go through and kind of just assess the situation. Or um, I would also I would do, and this is like a realistic thing. I would do adaptation of Legends material and expanded universe content,
Hmm.
and you don't have to connect them to the main films. They don't have to be live action, but I would try to find a way to bring those stories to life some way somehow. Uh, and we've seen if you've seen actually like the Batman stuff. Batman they won't do it anymore because James Gunn's running that hill, so they won't do the Batman comic movies anymore, which is a shame.
Well, they
But
want
I would do
to,
it
but
like that.
mm,
Yeah, like a long Halloween. You could do
yes.
Star Wars: Hair of the Empire as a cartoon if you want, and you could get. You don't need Mark Hamill. He won't sound anything like Luke, but you could get sound alikes, or you could
Hmm.
get Mark Hamill still in there. He could sound like Joris Sibayev. He could do a voice for that, I guess. But I mean, it's just Star Wars. I think it does need like a soft reset. I would stop all these projects. I would scrap the Ray movie. There doesn't need to be a Ray movie. No one asked for it. The stock and it's. I think the Ray movies, just the stock holders, just. These people don't really like. I don't think they like do any research on any of the on what people want from Star Wars. They don't ever do it.
Well,
And
they can't. No, they don't. No, you can't. they're missing the point. They want to. I don't know. You can be like people like Phil, who says Star Wars is completely dead to him. And it doesn't matter. To other people, Star Wars will never be completely dead. Uh, but I think it's just that they're not having EU stuff and not bringing people like Timothy Zahn on, not bringing the author of Plagueis on, not
Mhm.
other people who have written these books. Like, consult them, ask them questions.
I don't
What do
think
you
it's
think?
fair that you're gonna
No.
take their
Yes.
stuff and then like
Exactly.
they're gonna like am I supposed to be excited that Thrawn's gonna fight Akbar? I would, but he was
No.
in Ajoka season 1, so
Right.
now I'm expecting Ajoka Thrawn and not the
Well,
Thrawn by
they're
Timothy Zahn.
changing
That
things
that
all the.
rhymed, by the way.
Yes, they're changing stuff. Like, I like the Ahsoka character. Now I can't stand it after the show. I don't like what Filoni Baloney decided to do with it, and it's really disappointing because that could have been something really cool. But this whole thing about Sabine being trained and the way Hera is, and it's like, no, she was cooler in Rebels. So why didn't we go with her personality from Rebels and not go with what they did in Ajoka? It's like, why is Ezra here? Even Ezra's like, wait a second, like Sabine has powers? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, he even questions it. Like, how can this be? So what they do is they just change all this stuff, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, Sabine gets stabbed in basically the stomach and she doesn't die. Like, it's just it's crazy. I don't really understand a lot of these things anymore. And if they're gonna go with something more, go with something like, however people feel. But it made other people feel good about, like, Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis could be an important role in Star Wars, like even live action, but it's like they they just don't get it. And then they say, like, this person's the most important smuggler or scoundrel in the galaxy. How is that possible? And why isn't this person learning from Han Solo? Like, it doesn't make sense, but it's all because of some agenda, some stupid this, and then they wonder why their ratings aren't good for a lot of these shows, or they just become too goofy. So I feel like with Crit, you take certain parts of the EU, you build these characters better, and if they die, then they mean something. When Qui-Gon died, it meant something. So
Now, uh, now on the um, they're doing it again, and this time they're taking ideas from George Lucas, and I don't know if I trust it. They're deciding to do more Darth Maul, and I don't think Maul's necessarily overdone, but I mean,
hmm
it's Sam Witwer. If he's
hmm
involved, I don't think it'll be too bad. But they're bringing Darth Talon into canon with this new Darth Maul show.
yes,
Darth Maul's apprentice is now Darth Talon, or this. It better be Darth Talon. It'd be no point to bring this red Twi'lek and be she's called something different. I swear, if they do something like that, I'm gonna be like, uh, it's Darth Talon or bust. But I said on stream, a lot of people were like, "Are you gonna criticize this?" And I'm like, "No, I think I'm intrigued by it. Like, what's?" But here's the thing: are they gonna just have this Darth Talon just be a villain for Rey and her Rey movie? Is that the reason why they're bringing her into this? Like, I have that gut feeling,
it's
and
possible.
yeah. So I've like, other than that, Star Wars Celebration was just nothing. It was a bunch of shills from America and elsewhere coming together and getting excited about, like, for one, this is in a foreign country, so I just feel embarrassing a lot of these people that like getting all excited about this convention. I that's the state of Star Wars. Either you don't like this stuff or you hate it, or you're a fence sitter and like, oh, I like this, but oh, I hate this. Or
Or you're a
or
fan like yourself, and you're taking things into your own hands and saying, I'm going to produce this fan
Yes.
film
Yes.
and
Yep.
do it in such a way that people will watch it and like it. And people obviously do like your Star Wars content, especially, if you starting with Darth Plagueis now.
Well, speaking of Plagueis, it's kind of becoming like silly because now there's fans arguing about fan films. Like, oh, this guy can't produce a good fan film. I'll watch this. This guy's better at this, and it's kind of just petty. Uh, you know, I feel like a lot of people will throw you to the wolves if they know like you can. The Star Wars community is pretty hostile. It's not. It's not open. It's a battleground. It's a battleground.
Mhm.
But I'll fight the good fight and just keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm not like the AI channels. I worried about them, but I just accepted that they're slop, and I have them blocked on my channel extension. So I don't. I kind of just don't care anymore. So.
And why should you? You're doing your own thing. And you're
Mm-hmm.
proving to be a success because you're not rushing through it to try to get it done. You're taking your time getting it done, making sure that everything looks as right as can be, and that your voice actors, deliver the lines in such a way where if a character's supposed to have an impactful moment, that it comes across that way
Yep.
in the dialogue. And real quick, I do want to say hello to Lady Mist. Good to see you, Lady Mist.
Hi, Lady
Hello,
Mist.
Lady Miss. Hello.
And Jet Spark says, uh, they're just trying to pander to the woke weirdos who don't even go outside even to watch this crap.
I don't even at this point all that pandering stuff. I don't. I think they're moving on. Acolyte taught them a lesson. Don't hire people. Diversity
Hopefully.
hire. Leslie Headland. Think. I hope she never gets a job again. She forced me to sit through the Acolyte.
You forced
So
yourself to do that.
I forced
Yeah, I was gonna
myself.
say.
Well, I wasn't gonna watch it until someone said, "Oh, Plagueis is in it," and then
Oh
I forced
boy.
myself to watch the rest of it, and it was like the good. There are good. You know what's funny? The author of Plagueis,
Hmm.
he didn't mind that Plagueis was in there. He was actually intrigued by it. But I would say if there's any sense and sensibility, he's the only guy that can fix your problems with the Plagueis thing and the Acolyte. I think that he should come back to write if they're gonna end this whole High Republic era, this woke era. It would make sense to just have the author of Plagueis come back and fix all the mistakes that
Hmm.
show ever made, because I think he will.
Well, isn't that
But
kind of the
Disney
be
probably
like? Oh, sorry.
Disney probably won't, because that's what from what I heard. They're not giving him any calls, even though he wants to write. He's writing his own fan fiction. I hear about Palpatine, his own Palpatine novel with
Hmm.
Dooku. I would like to read that.
Well, because as you guys all know, just like we always talk about, or we've talked about before, Disney is stupid about these things. Like, why wouldn't you have a good portion of the EU? And for people to ever come out and say, "Oh, there's no source material, there's no this," it's just like it just makes your head hurt. It's like, are you
Hey
kidding
Phil,
me?
Well,
Hmm.
the sad thing about James O'Jinkle is he is one of the latter half of the EU authors that really contribute a lot. Of course, as you keep on saying, Pelagus, because he contributed, but you look at all the other stories that were universe building for the EU,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, he wrote one of the most uh, I don't know. You know, worthless books in the new canon. I think it's the only one he did, and that was Tarkin, and because they basically held him back from doing any character building, and it was his opportunity to start reintroducing into the new canon the stuff that they basically wiped out, and he wanted to make sure that they lived. But yeah, they're they don't care.
They
He's a
don't care.
talent. They're threatened by him because he does know this stuff back and forth. I mean, he wrote. I think he co-wrote Millennium Falcon,
Uh,
which
I
of course
mean,
goes to the entire history of the Millennium Falcon, and on and on and on. This guy is a wealth of information. But nope, nope. We'll go with Lesbian Headland and let her put her.
right, with her
No,
dumb
and
fan fiction, yeah.
Yeah.
well, he has a philosophy. I would recommend if you guys find it. He did an interview, and I'm gonna meet him, and hopefully with Cash, we're gonna talk with him, and we might even do an interview with him in September. I'm trying to get there. So,
Hmm.
but we're gonna
So good
Yeah.
that
luck.
our goal.
Seriously.
Me and Cash are gonna hopefully see him at Legends Expo. But he has a philosophy on canon itself. He says, you know what? It doesn't matter if there's a EU or a canon. Whatever you like, make it your own.
Hmm.
Basically,
Right.
and I like that philosophy. Basically, he says uh, writers have put so much into the Star Wars universe. What should it matter what their work has to adhere to? Basically,
Hmm.
and I like that a philosophy. Just pick your own path, like one of those old books. Pick your own adventure.
The Crystal Star never happened. Crystal Star never happened, by the way.
And the Padawannabe has a question for you, Krit. And that question is: since Sam Witwer is back, do you even think it's a possibility to get a live action Star Killer show film?
uh, I don't think that's ever gonna happen, and I think Sam Witwer's always there. I saw him back last year. Um, he's always gonna be there. He's Darth Maul. I think he resonates more as Darth Maul than Star Killer.
Hmm.
But they're never ever gonna finish that story, and I don't think they'll have the balls to bring Star Killer. Star Killer is a complicated character because he's very OP,
Yeah.
and even like back then, a lot of fans had some issues with those games. But uh,
The second one's
you
got
know,
problems, but the first one I still
second
think
one.
is very good.
Well, they didn't need a second one, so they could put themselves in a corner.
Hmm.
Well, and the thing with the Force Unleashed and Star Killer is this was a project that Lucas was and pretty much directly involved in because he wanted to have a video game for his kid Jet. So if you wanted to go under the category of if Lucas did it, then it's got to be official. Well, Shadows of the Empire, of the Force Unleashed, those are just as valid then. But well, neither here nor there. It's again they say one thing and then they pick and choose.
Well, yeah, because like Timothy Zahn, like it's just so obvious. All these people who wrote this stuff, like why wouldn't you have them involved? If you're gonna do Mara Jade, like Timothy Zahn needs to be on set. He needs to be around. People need to consult him about this stuff. Like it's so easy right there. But they want to make things harder. They want to get Leslie Headland and have her
Yeah.
ridiculous stuff going on and different things.
Yeah, isn't it funny that Disney, who screams the Force is female, probably takes the most recognizable Star Wars character next to Leia and just throw her into the dustpan, and that's
Hmm.
Mara Jade. I mean,
Yes. Yeah, it's really odd. It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of things they could do. There's Shadows of the Empire. They could do like an animated movie of it. They could do an animated show of it, probably, because there's all that material already. But they just don't care much at all about the EU, excuse me. But yet they will take certain pieces of it, like Thrawn, for
mhm.
example. It's really funny. So,
I'm not
yeah,
laughing.
yeah, right.
Laugh,
It's
Cash.
funny.
Laugh.
It's funny because it's so ridiculous that it just everything from the Boba Fett show, all this stuff, like it actually really could have been cool. And Crit and I know somebody in our What If group. Uh, our Star Wars What If group. And I've heard this before. They said, "Oh, but we learned more about the Sand People," and my comment is always the same. The Sand People to me are savages. I don't need to know any more about that. But wasn't I'm like, to me it wasn't. That stuff wasn't interesting to me in the Book of Boobaloo show.
You learn more about them in the EU book Kenobi.
I'm sure.
So I mean,
I'm
Apple.
sure.
It's like, okay, so
Yeah.
it's like,
Hot take.
don't use that as an excuse. So
Hot take. That book is boring as hell.
oh, I know it is. I'm not giving the book grades. I'm not giving the
I
book
met
grades.
the
I'm just
I met the author last March, or the
Mhm.
last March. He was writing the card books, and he kind of like he was kind of full of himself. He was like, "Yeah, I wrote that." He's like, he had his arms crossed, like, "Let me tell you, uh, Jackson Miller, was it? He wasn't
yeah.
bad, but I could just I don't know. It's like, I'm glad I got the book signed, but like actually reading the book, I'm like, man, this book's a slog, even more
Yeah.
so than Plagueis.
And real quick, I just want to say hello to the Padawan wannabe, also to Phil McCracken, and also you're wrong. No, I'm Mike. I'm right. Okay, maybe I am wrong, but it's good to see you, Shane. If you want to see
But
some good
Shane,
Star Wars content, Shane, check out Krit's channel, Everest Productions. I'll put the link in there again so you can check out his channel, check out his work, and give him a sub.
some some other stuff I'm working on besides Star Wars. I'm doing a AI dub with of Legends of the Galactic Heroes, which I will never release publicly because of obviously copyright. But
right?
uh,
Yeah.
it'll probably take a couple years to work on, but we'll get done. And uh, obviously, because I just want to see that anime in English because it's one of my favorites. And
Mhm.
then, well, should we move on to Arcane now? Cash money.
You're the guest, dude.
Your show today, brother. Your show today. So
All right. Well,
whatever
one
you
of my
have in
favorite
mind, or whatever
things.
you want to say about Arcane, go ahead and express it.
One of my favorite things of the last 5 years has been the series Arcane League of Legends. I never cared for League of Legends. I hated it before. I hate the game. The game is just, it reeks of. You can smell the microtransactions a mile away. I stay far away from games like that, or the man child rage that people.
Mm.
But I love the show Arcane season one. I initially I didn't like I was blown away by the animation, but something about the story just like clicked. And I remember we watched Cash, and Cash was, "What the hell is this? Why is that like blue haired? Why do they have blue hair and red hair? And why is that child like crying all the time?" I remember.
I
Uh,
hated powder. Yeah.
yeah, and then it took a turn, and it was like, "Whoa, this is something."
Hmm.
I would say it's one of the best written. The first season is one of the best written shows. It's one of the best. I would say the first season's that makes it all sad that there's a season two. It's maybe season two should have been a book, or it should have been written by someone else. I don't know. Season one's a masterpiece. Season two that came out a couple months.
Season one was wonderful because
Yeah, it gets really good.
I still remember the Pop Talk where we started to talk about it before we dedicated an episode of Pop Talk to Arcane, where you were there, Cash was there, Steven Ransom was there, Baron was there, and the way they did season one was masterful.
It got better and
Uh,
better, especially after the
Mhm.
three things, and we
um,
got to Jinx. That was crazy.
yeah, and there was some like woke stuff, but I would say it was good woke, where it wasn't like in your face, and it was a good woke. That's I don't know if a word exists. Like, obviously in the games, in the games, like Caitlyn and Vi, obviously they're lesbian in the game, so you gotta keep that relationship, and it's not forced. It actually makes sense.
No.
Like, oh well, Vi has been in jail. Like she's the only person that she attached herself to. So
Hmm.
I like understood that, and I thought the acting was great too. Ella Purnell's one. She's great in Fallout, and she's great as the voice
Yeah,
of
I liked
Jinx.
her a lot
Like
in Fallout.
she's just, I'm shocked that she's British.
I,
I never would imagine she's British.
And then you have Haley. You have Haley Steinfeld, who's
Yeah,
great at voice acting in it too.
and she was in Sinners.
Mm-hmm. I'm
She was
almost
great in.
tempted to see that.
I hear she's great in that. Krit has hidden love. I don't like Sword Art Online. It's not my favorite anime film.
that's why he's doing it too. He's just trying to mock you. He's trying to troll you.
Like you. Um, but I we waited 3 years for Arcane season 2, and when me and Cash like we stayed up all night to watch the first 3 episodes, and we watched the first 3 episodes, and I like, well, the first episode we got pumped up because it had a lot of
Nice.
action. It was like very interesting,
It made sense.
A-
It's like, oh, here's
and
the
then
aftermath of what happened with the
and
disaster.
then the music video montages started, and then
Mm,
they just kept going and then
mm,
going, and then Jinx came into the story, and then Jinx has her
mm,
little sidekick, and then the
mm.
music montages keep going and going, and then, and then Savika now is like a friend to uh, and then somehow they don't explain why they don't explain why Caitlyn is gassing the other city. You have to look it up on Google to understand what the hell was going on. You and then we get to the final. We get to the fight between Jinx and Vi is awesome in the Act 1,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's like, oh, you betrayed me, Vi. I hate you. And then and then Caitlyn. Well, no. Uh, Arcane season 2 is a dumpster fire.
Mhm.
It's a
I'm
mess.
not. I
Mhm.
It's
haven't gotten all the way through this series, but I'm not liking where it's going so far.
You're not gonna like it. If you don't like it now, you're gonna start hating it. The more you watch it.
Other
Um,
people will say it's a masterpiece, and I go, well, if you want to feel that way, fine. But I
Everybody
don't
has
see it.
their opinion.
I don't
it's
see it.
rushed.
And it's funny, every time you talk to people about season two, they all have mixed feelings about it. And so the
You know,
consensus is that a
I
lot of people
feel
are
the
always going to have
people
mixed feelings
that
about
like
it.
season 2 are the people that their ship or whatever the things they like fantasize happened. Like, oh my god, Caitlyn and Vi, they got together, and then they ignore
Possible.
everything else. Or Vi adds nothing to this season. I mean, she's just there for the most part. And then Caitlyn too. Jinx is like, well, Jinx went from terrorist to hero. She's the
Yeah,
hero.
they
She's
make her
misunderstood.
misunderstood. Yeah, they do.
Oh,
Mel and
actually, no.
Jace's
Let's not.
relationship is just, oh man, what happened with that?
Oh, oh yes, Cash Money loved that. They decided to make Jace a gay. He's homosexual now, apparently.
They
So
seem to make him. You might see it, Mike. You might not. It's not that they're actually gay. It's the fact that the way
they
he's, the way Jace is acting towards
they're
Victor is
partners.
really odd. Yeah, it's
They're
bizarre. It's
Yeah,
like,
partners.
are they? I'm just asking because I haven't gotten there yet. Are they a little bit more flamboyant than
yeah, it's just
other
Yeah,
characters? Or?
the way they're
there's
kind of
something that
acting.
happens
There's
at
like,
the end.
yes,
It's
yeah,
like, all right, you can just easily say, okay, they're gay,
like.
and then and
That's not who we're talking about, Jace. Different Jace.
not
Jayce.
Jace, Arcane Jace.
We're talking about
We're
Arcane
talk-
right now, Jace.
You
He's
know
just
what? And
joking,
that's
but
actually like, here's the thing: in the games, Victor is awesome. Victor's Doctor Doom of Arcane. He's
yeah,
like he
sure,
becomes
sure,
a
Shane.
mechanical. Uh,
Right.
uh,
The best ever.
what
Yeah.
it sounds cooler in the games because it says in the lore that Victor could like take like mechanical like droids and like have them possess them to come back to life with his powers. But he wants to make his Zon like he's like Doctor Doom. He wants to be the protector, but he's not like he's he's also like a wizard. Like he's a like real villain, and they turn him into the he. I'm not gonna spoil anymore, but I'll just say they turn this into comic book slop near the end. So it's like
You, you
unfortunately,
you might get
uh,
sick of yeah the
music videos.
the
The
music videos
story
stuff.
makes
I
no
don't know the
sense.
music videos, whatever. No, but you
Everyone
may.
acts differently as it goes on,
There's
except for like
just
maybe
and when they
Echo.
do that, there's like weird slow motion too. Like at first, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
this is kind of cool, and then they just keep beating you over the head with it throughout the season, and you're
mm,
just like,
Well, then
why?
our Jace would like that. Then he loves all that slow motion
you
stuff.
know they they have Caitlyn cuck Vi, and then they forget about it the very next episode. I'm not joking.
They make it Caitlyn's like, oh, I'm mad and I'm gonna have a relationship with this other woman. That'll show Vi. Like you're just like, well, this is just weird and feels stupid. Yeah.
uh,
We
yeah,
Krit and I had a conversation with somebody else and who we know, and she didn't agree with us, but we're just kind of like, how do you feel? Like, why do you think this show's a masterpiece? Like they have
I'm
no problems with it at all, and it's
you
just
know.
like, okay, fine. You want to
What do
feel
you
that
think
way?
about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so much for Jinx. I'm in a jail cell now, so it's like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
just I just don't think I feel like certain people need to watch more of character development and stuff. It's kind of like I would like to ask that person who I know that Crit and I both know. I've known her longer, but ask her, do you like something like The Rocketeer, or does that actually offend you? You know, things like that, where there's
you
actual
know,
good character development and stuff. But I don't know. I think they see pretty pictures, they see this, and if that's how they
you know,
feel about it, fine. But the
Well,
story is
for
what.
some people,
Hmm.
pretty pictures, flashing lights,
Yep.
bright colors,
yeah,
that appeals
Yes.
to them.
yeah,
Yes.
and lesbian sex, and
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
yeah, it's like, oh, let's forget about everyone else. Oh, there's lesbian sex in the jail cell. Yeah.
And the first
Uh,
question out of her mouth was like, "Oh, is it the gay stuff that bothered you guys?" It's like, no, we know Vi
no,
and Caitlyn are gay.
I
It's the
think
way
Vi is
things are.
attractive. I
It's
think
the
Vi and
way
Caitlyn are
things are.
attractive, but they're lesbians, so it's like, it's like a Amy thing.
When you
But
see though Caitlyn and Vi together, and then that side shot, if you've ever seen that, Mike, or not, it's like, well, wait, does this woman even have breasts anymore? Like, it sounds funny, but it's like, did
yeah,
they cut her
she's
off?
a woman.
Like, is they made her body, it seem more like a trans man, and it's really bizarre. I'm just
It's
that's their choice,
yeah.
not mine.
I'm not
Well,
like
correct
I'm
me if
not
I'm
like
wrong, but didn't one of the writers from season one leave before season two
all of
started?
Oh,
them left except
definitely
for this
the
one woman who would except for
yes,
this woman named Amanda
hmm
something. She's
yeah,
the reason why she became the sole writer. It's
yes.
like, oh well, that explains everything.
The art is still beautiful, though. There's no doubt
Oh
about
yeah, the art's better than season one. I like
that.
it's they put so well. I think maybe they rushed it. They rushed the story. Like maybe they had to like they took so long,
Hmm.
and it's like get to the point. It's like get to the point. Just let's do this last season. There's no
Yes.
there's gonna be no more Arcane after this. If so, it's gonna be like a spin-off, which is unfortunate. The show ends on like a sad note, and it kind of turns a masterpiece to the show to a pitiful 7 out of 10. Oh, altogether, you know,
Mm,
which is why
season.
I will never
Yeah.
watch season two again. I'll watch season one.
Yeah,
Uh,
season two is you might not be bothered by certain things, but when you see Mel and Jason, I don't know how you felt about their relationship, but what they do in season two, you're like, this is messed up, and not the good messed up.
I,
Like this makes sense. This is just what is going on here. Like I feel Jace and Mel should always be together.
Yeah,
And the way he was pursued by her, and then she started liking him even more as she got to know him and actually cared about him, and the
and
way
then
they go about the other stuff, but I won't spoil certain things.
I will say, there's a fan fiction that me and Cash are like, we're trying to like bring out, or it's just better than season two. It should, it's why don't you get a fan to write this show? What? Why you get, this the also when this show came out, the creator was like apologizing, like, "Oh, I'm sorry we did this. I'm sorry. You're right." It's like, what are you sorry for? It's like, why are you apologizing? You made the show. You
Hmm.
Why are you
You approved
apologizing on
everything.
Twitter?
You approved everything.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's a shame because I've only gotten into the beginning of season two, but I'm already feeling that it's missing the spark that made season one so fantastic.
Yeah,
yeah,
it does.
I would
They
just stick with
mhm.
season one. You could watch season two. Keep watching it, but
I will. I will.
it becomes comic book slot. I just think comic book movies may have like hurt. I just think they hurt. Because I would say that the last act of the show is a rip off of the movie Avengers: Age of Ultron. Wouldn't you agree, Cash Money?
Maybe a
Age
little
of
bit.
Ultron.
Maybe a bit. I mean, there's I don't know. I just I don't
Whatever.
like the way they went about a lot of things. The way they treated Mel, the way they treated Jace, the way they churned Jace, the way he felt about Victor, other things. It's really. I thought certain things were just really bad. It's just an absolute mess, and a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. Some people really think it's a masterpiece, and it's certainly very high on user reviews uh, on like IMDb. But still, it's just I think with they think if people think that's great writing or even good writing, a lot of that, well, more power to them. But it, just really characters, the it starts off fine. The first two episodes, I feel okay. We see the aftermath of what happened, what Jinx did, but it's where what happens with Jinx. It's what happens with Jace and Caitlyn and Mel, and it's just like this is ridiculous. Um, the Silco, when of course, Silco's gone now, but it's just the way that uh, Jinx acts about it, and then gets a protege and this little girl, and then what happens to her? It's like, are we supposed to care? And it's a mess. But maybe you won't feel that way, Mike. I don't know. But
I think it's a mess.
I'll let you know by Sunday.
okay.
Krit thinks it's a masterpiece. It's a miss,
It
big
Well,
miss.
is. It
it's
is.
it's like everything, Doctor Who, Star Trek, it's Star Wars. Every these franchises. I mean, like people can say whatever they want, but I would rather see something like that animated Babylon 5 movie again. That was solid. That was
Mm.
a good time travel story, and we hadn't had one in a while. I know Crit doesn't feel as strong about that movie, but I'm sure he would say it's at least.
I enjoyed it, but I want to hear
Hmm.
Crit's perspective on the Babylon 5 movie, The Road Home.
Hmm.
I've seen it. It's okay. I don't remember it that well. So, but I did buy it. So it's a
Well,
nice.
that's good.
It's a nice like recap. I feel like it's a nice. It's a nice like member berry thing. It's not bad.
Hmm.
It's like a nice like, oh, remember Babylon 5? It existed. It was like, oh, you need some stuff like that. It's like a soft reminder. But I would say it's not anything groundbreaking, the Babylon 5 movie.
Would you like to see them release more animated Babylon 5?
Yeah, but the thing with Babylon 5, I personally I would like to seen an adaptation of the the books that was it the the Centauri books that like
Yeah,
leads up to that moment. I would like to have seen like an actual like adaptation of those, or the
yeah. You had the Peter. Yeah, you
The
had the
Psychor movies.
yeah, you had the three of them. You had the Technomage, you had the Centauri Republic that leads up to
Hmm.
the end of Londo, and of course you had the did I say Psychor? Psychor that yeah. So and then the Technomages. So yeah, each one of them. Peter David, of course, did the Centauri one. So there's you know uh, there's weight behind that one.
Hmm. Here's what I enjoyed about The Road Home. It was a nice homage to the cast members who are no longer with us.
Hmm.
I still think it's a good movie.
Yeah. And, the voice actor who did the voice for Garibaldi almost sounded exactly like Michael did. And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just.
I will admit there are some flaws to it, but
Hmm.
overall, it's an enjoyable movie, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree. Um, uh, other I've I have Babylon 5. I'm the thing I like about Babylon 5, there is a beginning and end. So I don't think there needs to be anything else from Babylon 5, and there's the books, the additional books. If you ever want like you know, re not everything needs to be like filmed and stuff. So there's always like other material. Um um I unless but unlike that, I don't feel the same way about Star Trek, which is dead and buried and 6 feet under. So Star Trek came to an end back in 2004, um, quite some time ago, and
Yeah,
it's
20
kind
years
of
ago. 20 years ago.
20 years ago, and it's kind of sad. It's always good to look back on it and not imagine if anything else is coming out.
See,
uh,
I don't feel view any of these that we love are dead.
Yeah.
Just the new stuff is dead because we have so much. We have so much of. I mean, not as much with Babylon 5, obviously. It didn't have that huge of a marketing merchandising thing. I mean, you had the DC comic run, you had the limited series in Valen's Name comic, you had the books, the first 9 run books, and you had the 3 trilogies. Uh, so I mean that was kind of contained, but you have so many hours of Star Trek, so many hours of Star Wars before Disney got it, so many
Mhm.
hours of Doctor Who. That's the stuff that's still alive and is still well. The Target books, various other books they have for Doctor Who. So
hmm
these properties are not dead. It's just these walking, shambling zombies of stupidity.
and
For as those are the things that are dead.
And the Star Trek pocketbook universe, the Litverse, it has an ending too.
Mhm.
Just don't read past when it gets to. Just don't read the last one they did. I the Litverse. I'm glad they gave an opportunity to do like a pocket books universe, uh, like an EU for Star Trek, but
Mhm.
yeah, Star Trek's dead and buried, and I think I do agree that Seth MacFarlane's Orville is like a good replacement for
Hmm.
that kind of media. It just remains to be seen if the more of the Orville will come out and eventually. So
See, and that's the thing. I've been saying it ever since the season 3 finale. That was the series finale with the way it ended.
Mhm.
There's not going to be any more.
I
And
mean, the closest thing I
I,
can
I,
think of is like they did movies, but
yeah, yeah, TV movies, but having Alara come back at the end, you know, and having the ship go off in the distance. It's like the ship riding off in the sunset. They were saying goodbye. And I know for a while there was rumors of a season 4, but I don't think Disney's going to allow it. I don't think Disney cares for the show that much.
No, but it's also has to do with Seth and his ego. I'm sure he just that guy is so full of himself now. It's unfortunate.
yeah,
Well, one thing I did want to ask you, Krit, is have you seen any movies that you would highly recommend?
Recently, well, I saw Sonic 3. I wouldn't really recommend Minecraft. It's more of a dumb meme movie to sit through, but it has its moments. It reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite. It was like a kind of weird feeling I got from that movie. Lava Chicken. Uh, Revenge of the Sith comes back in the cinema this weekend. I'm gonna go see it. Don't care if people, oh, you're just giving them money. Don't care. Uh,
Right.
I'm gonna go see it too. You want to know
Mhm.
why? Because that's George
why?
Lucas,
Hmm.
Star
Yes,
Wars.
yes. Yeah, yeah. I also, it was the first movie I saw as a kid,
Hmm.
and one of the first movies I saw, one of the first Star Wars movie I saw as a kid. Um, but that was the golden era to go to the movies back then. Uh, Now back to what we were talking about. You said movies I would recommend. Um, it's kind of like I don't watch movies often as other people or series. I kind of just prefer to like watch classics.
Hmm.
I wa- like recently I watched Amadeus, great movie.
Oh, great movie. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Yep.
me and Phil watched Outland with Sean Connery the other night,
Oh,
and
That's a good movie.
I believe that movie's in the Alien universe. You're not going to change my mind. Uh,
underrated too.
and
Very underrated.
yeah, very underrated. Um, and then I've also been enjoying some classic '80s miniseries. Like me and Phil have been, we watched I Claudius, the original, which was I think better than any like series. Well, on par with Rome. Yeah,
Rome was
I
great.
I
Yeah.
prefer I think I Claudius gets the edge though because it has
Oh yeah.
the actors to it.
Hmm.
But uh uh yeah just been watching just classic stuff and just uh I just listen to podcasts while I edit and then I talk to Cash and then I've been playing the new Oblivion remaster and I'm
How's
probably
that?
gonna do that. Oh, it's wonderful. It's just the same game but in Unreal Engine 5. So um it's the same music, the same feeling, the same gameplay. Although here's the thing: normal mode is easy mode, but if you go one uptick, uh, it becomes like super hard mode. It's not even like a hard difficulty. It's
Hmm.
like I don't know if it's a bug with the game, but normal mode is easy mode because you go to adept, and that's what I play on. That's normal mode. It's not easy peasy mode, but the gameplay feels very easy. But then when you go up a tick, it raises the health on the enemies and the combat damage so far up
Hmm.
that it's like impossible to play because it's like extreme mode is expert mode or yeah, it's the hard mode. It's like it's weird what is hard and not on the Oblivion remaster. Hopefully maybe that's a fix. But yeah, I do recommend it, especially if you have a strong, powerful PC to play it on. So yeah, definitely
You
would
know,
recommend.
I'm gonna check something
you
because
know,
I
taking
thought
a
I
couple.
saw that it was on Game Pass, but I
It
want to double
It
is.
check
is.
myself.
It
It is
is.
on Game
That's what
Pass.
I'm playing on. So
It's 125 gigs though, so just
it's
keep
only
that.
$50 too if you want to own it. So I think that's reasonable. Oh, I will never buy a Switch game again after I know Cash. He's gonna spend his life savings on a Switch. Be
No,
my
not
guess.
life and savings.
Oh,
No.
I'm not.
he can order one at midnight tonight, Eastern
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
so 9 o'clock for
Now
him.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Phil wants to watch me play Oblivion every night. So it's like
You
I'm taking the role of another person we know. So who used
Until
to
he
play
passes
Skyrim a
out,
lot.
yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
to take a couple steps back to you were talking about I Claudius. I know on the DVD release. I don't know. I'm sure you could probably find it on on YouTube somewheres. But there was a documentary that was done before the actual BBC series. It was, this documentary was done, I think, late '60s, and it was documenting. And if you like Claudius, or if you just like film history, especially the British film history, documenting about how England was trying very hard to jump into Hollywood, be the new Hollywood, and one of their shining stars was an attempt to do I Claudius, and it had Charles Lawton playing the role of
Oh, I'm
Claudius
aware
in
of
it.
that. It never
Yeah,
got
it's
finished.
a never no, they hardly got anything done, but it's a great documentary. So I recommend, if you haven't seen it, or anybody out there, go and watch that one. Just on many levels, it's a fascinating documentary.
Charles Lawton's very good too. I would recommend
Hmm.
the original Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hmm.
Although the
He was a
Disney
very good
one's not
actor.
bad either.
Very good. Hmm.
uh, um, movies coming out. I mean, nothing really like looks good, to be honest.
Hmm.
Mission Impossible.
Yes, I want to see that.
But
Yeah, I do want to see that.
Mhm.
I Mission Impossible. Uh, Thunderbolts looks like a dud. I didn't go see Hulkiana Jones and the Captain Falcon. Uh,
Hmm.
it's kind of just been a mixed bag of like nothing. I'm intrigued by it. I will say I'm gonna give the Fantastic Four a chance. That one looks kind of interesting. Like I think it's more interesting than the Thunderbolts, whatever the hell that movie is. So yeah, maybe I'll have to see if it's like classic Fantastic Four or um, let me see,
You're
20
excited about
25
female Silver
days.
Surfer and some of the other nonsense going on there?
Well, I hear the rumor is that they're not in they're in another universe and they're actually stuck there. And that Silver
Oh
Surfer
boy.
is that universe Silver Surfer. It's not the Silver Surfer. It's another Silver Surfer. And
Seems like a cop
I
out.
hope that's real. Yeah, they better not cop out and say, "Oh, we defeated Galactus." And it's like, no, if Galactus destroys that universe, I'll be satisfied.
Yeah, sure,
If they
Phil.
treat
Whatever.
Galactus like a if they treat Galactus like a effing joke, I uh, I don't know. It's like I hate that they introduce like you bring Galactus, and if you know how big he is in the comics, then I
Hmm.
don't know. Hold on, I'm trying to find the movie lists for 2025. Okay. I tried to watch Section 31. Star Trek Section 31 would be a great film to troll Phil with and Cash.
I'm sure it's
Because
great. Yeah.
I,
yeah, it's
I mean, I would love to do it, but I got a feeling, just like when we were all watching season
Uh,
3 of Picard in Discord,
mhm.
that if I watched Section 31, I would be losing my mind.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, you would.
That's how I feel too.
I hated the Electric State. Uh, another soulless Netflix movie. I'm going through what I watched this year.
No
Uh,
problem.
Let me see here. Snow White. Uh,
Could you repeat that?
Snow White and the Seven Dinklages.
they're creatures.
Yeah.
Uh, what's coming out next month? Let's see. There's an Until Dawn movie. I didn't know that.
No,
Uh,
unfortunately.
unfortunately. Uh, Thunderbolts.
Uh,
Let's see. Um,
some people are gonna go see that. I
Lilo
don't
and
know.
Stitch looks good for the kiddos. I'm not gonna hate on that from what I saw. Karate Kid. I don't know why. Just why. Um, there's
Yeah,
a
but I've watched the
Mhm.
trailer and I
Legends.
want to go see it because
Yeah, there
of what
may
I
be
saw in the
some
trailer.
potential
That
there.
may be the best parts that I've seen are the bits and pieces in the trailer, but still, I'm
uh,
more curious about it.
it's like, well, yeah, that I mean, the stuff coming out, you just like say why. Like, why do we need a How to Train Your Dragon remake that's just gonna be the same movie in live
Money.
action?
Mhm.
They're hoping for more money. That's what they're hoping
Why do
for.
we need a Megan 2.0, but now she's a superhero?
Oh gosh,
That's what I hear.
that trailer. I watched that trailer for Megan 2.0. I'm
Yeah,
going, what the hell are you
yeah.
guys doing? This is
And
so
it's
far off from what the first one was.
and then it's Shin Hati. You remember Shin Hati? She's the villain in that. So-
Yeah,
And then there's another Jurassic Park movie, but this time we got Scarlett Johansson.
ScarJo.
There's another island that you didn't know. It's like,
Is
come on.
Ballerina coming out this year?
Yes,
Um,
yes, Ballerina is
Thought it
coming out this
was,
year.
right?
uh,
I might give that a chance.
Ballerina, that comes out. That's probably gonna flop. I have strong opinions on Superman. Uh,
Go ahead and express them, because I'm going to tell you
Who
this.
doesn't?
I've
I'm not going to attack you for it. I'll probably agree with you.
um of everything I've seen, I've not felt. Yeah, I know what the trailer's trying to convey. It's like, you get the sense of awe and, comfort. It's Superman. The same when you watch the Christopher Reeve movies. I don't get any of that watching that. I feel like it's goofy as hell.
Yeah.
It's like I just feel goofiness watching it. I just feel
So what you're
goofy,
saying,
goofy,
instead of
goofy.
you're getting ah.
They
You know,
showed a
what you say?
preview of it. You could watch the clip on YouTube, but they showed a preview at Minecraft of just Crypto, the super dog, just hurting Superman, and then Superman apparently has robot servants. Something
Oh,
out of
yeah,
the
I saw that.
1950s, and they make a
Mhm.
joke like, "Oh, we're not sentient, sir," and then she's like, "Oh, I'm such a big fan." One of the robots says that, "I'm such a big fan, Superman." I was like, "Was I supposed to laugh or
Didn't people say that it's supposed to be comic book accurate or something? The robots. I don't
whatever,
know.
shove it." Ha- I'm intrigued by Fantastic Four. I think the whole like Silver Surfer. I think I've heard rumors that it's another angle, and that it's not like there's some twists. I don't know. Too early to say, but I'm intrigued. Naked Gun looks funny. Uh, Nobody Two. There's a second one. Uh,
That's it.
uh,
Yeah, the
See,
first
I
one.
don't even know. There's a Toxic Avenger remake with Peter
Yes, with Peter
Dinklage.
Dinklage as Toxie. Yes, yes.
Uh,
Whenever that comes to streaming, I plan on doing a watch party for it, so we can pan it and
You,
riff
you
on
know,
it.
yeah.
and to rag on the people that are reporting on, that go out to the supposed uh, fan news groups and such like that. They put out yesterday or the other day. They go, "We finally see a scene with Peter Dinklage as a Toxic Avenger." It's like you're a couple weeks too late, morons.
Hmm.
Already happened. You
Um,
already
I
laughed about it.
never got into that. I don't think I even
Spinal
watched the
Tap.
originals. So.
Spinal Tap's getting a sequel for some reason.
Mm,
Money.
yeah,
Money.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
figure they
Tron looks interesting.
Tron could be
Tron
good if it
Ares. Yeah,
Yeah,
ties into the
it's
legacy.
yeah,
it's
yeah. But
yeah.
I've heard that it's a Tron movie without Tron.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a problem. That right there is an issue. I agree.
Tron.
It could be
Uh,
cool, but I don't. I don't know. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2. I didn't even like the first one, so
I
nothing beats the
really.
90s. No,
I want. I want a Street Fighter movie that's going to be closer to the anime series. That's what I would like. That'd be amazing, but they won't do it.
uh, we're getting a Running Man remake. That might be interesting. Yeah,
Ooh,
Well,
the
another
I
remake. Very exciting.
I would agree if they did it more towards the Bachman book because the
um,
Bachman book's nothing like the movie. So
Edgar
I'm for
Wright's
that. But I
directing
doubt
this
that.
one, so he's a very prolific. It might be interesting if he's directing. There's another Predator movie coming out in November. Badland. Oh yeah, did you see the Predator? He has dreadlocks. He has
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can find that. I
Dreadlocks.
saw it
Huh?
It
before
was good.
we went live, and
I
Wicked
didn't like
Part
the last
2. I
Predator
liked Wicked
movie.
Part 1. Uh, Zootopia 2 is going to be fun. I don't care for Five Nights at Freddy's. Avatar, I'm intrigued. There's another SpongeBob movie. Oh, that
The
might be
Way
good
of
too.
Lava, all the lava
Oh my
burn,
god.
and here they come.
Anaconda with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. Are you serious?
I'm rooting for the snake.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Watch it be a comedy and then
they're gonna keep doing a lot of these remakes and stuff. Hollywood is just either out of ideas or they just refuse to try something new. I wish we could get something like Blade Runner again. We've had some Blade Runner stuff, but I don't know. I haven't watched the newest Blade Runner
All
movie.
right,
You guys
everybody, prepare yourselves. The new
Uh-oh.
Predator.
Oh boy.
all right, let's see it.
Oh,
Mm,
It doesn't look that bad.
looks
no.
okay, I guess. It's
Is it
kind of
female?
That's
goofy.
my hairstylist.
Yeah, looks kind of
Is it a female predator?
mildly
I would
I
like to
sideways.
see
I, I don't know.
I would like to
All right.
see a female predator.
I
That
don't
would
know.
Maybe identified.
Does that intimidate you guys if you saw that? Yeah.
the the female predators, they have like if in the predator comics there was a lot of interesting
Mhm.
dynamics between the males and females that
See, I've never read any of the Predator comics, so
No.
No, me either.
yeah, but
what is the dynamic between the male and female predators like?
I remember, let me look it up again because
Okay.
I read it before, so let's see. Okay, some predator females called brooders have been known to be large. Oh yeah, they're supposed to be larger and larger than the males, so they're buff, and they have spikes on the elbows and back. The let's see, but let's see. I'm good. Um, yeah, like males are they're very impulsive, and females are supposed to be the wise ones when it comes to predators. Like they're the ones that don't like. They're even wiser than the elders predators. Um, but yeah, this would be like that's the first time like they should make a predator movie if this is a female predator. I would be up for that, but I don't think that's the case.
Krit, do you mind if we go in with some breaking news?
Oh yeah, let's go away.
All right, let me just bring up the graphic and we'll go to the breaking news. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Tim. Really appreciate it, brother.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. Of course, if you know his name, you know that he was a pro football player for the Bears. So, and I'm bringing up the article right now. I will increase the size so everybody can read along with me. But this is breaking news. Thank you, Tim, for bringing that up. And of course, if you're a wrestling fan, you know he did spend some time in World Championship Wrestling, also known as WCW.
Oh, we lost Mongo, huh?
Yep. Hall of Famer, Bears icon, Steve Mongo McMichael dies at age 67. And of course, it's just posted. Hall of Fame defensive tackle Steve McMichael, who was diagnosed with ALS in 2021, died Wednesday at the age of 67, the NFL announced. McMichael was moved into hospice care Wednesday. McMichael played for the Chicago Bears 1985 Super Bowl championship team and was an All Pro in 1985 and 1987. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame last year. He played in a franchise record 191 consecutive games from 1981 to 1993 and ranked second to Richard Dent on the Bears' all-time sacks list with 92 and a half. His final NFL season was with Green Bay in 1994. He told the Chicago Tribune in April 2021 that he was struggling with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, which affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, causing loss of muscle control. And that's all they have. And there was a game between the Cubs and the Rockies back in 2002 where Mondo McMichael was the seventh inning guest conductor, and Angel Hernandez, who, if you know Major League Baseball and know Cash, knows, you know, many of the umpires' names, especially Angel Hernandez,
Definitely heard that name.
for notorious for bad calls on the field. Well, he made a bad call during the game, and before Steve McMichael saying "Take me out to the ball game" in front of the Wrigley Field faithful, he says, "Don't worry, I'm going to have a few speaks with that up." And Angel Hernandez threw him out of the ballpark. And it's like, yeah, Angel Hernandez, part of the No Fun League. But Steve McMichael, gone at the age of 67, and he made an impact, whether you want to admit it or not. He was part of that Monday Night War between the then WWF, now WWE, and WCW, and they were trying to bring in any names to really get folks to watch, especially when the NWO started, and of course that was 30 years ago. And every time you saw Mondo McMichael, he did have his Bears jacket on, but you know, the sports world has lost an icon. May he rest in peace, and may all his friends and family members find peace now that he is no longer with us and he is no longer suffering. Our thoughts and prayers here on Pacific414 Pop Talk go out to his family and his friends. May you rest in peace. Well, Krit, what I'd like to ask you at this time is, are there any actors who you, or anyone that you've met at a convention who you've had an absolute blast meeting? I know you mentioned
Uh,
during today's show that you've met a couple of authors, but any actors that you've met that just made your day?
Lucy Christian, and then I would say my best experiences is Lucy Christian, Dennis Lawson and his wife. Um, I met the voice actor of Lupin the Third uh, last month. It was very cool. Um, and then, I mean, I got a picture with Elijah Wood, but we didn't really actually talk at all. So it was cool for a
It,
photo op. So
yeah.
um, I would recommend just do the autograph. Don't do photo ops. It's not worth it unless you really want it. uh,
Well, let me ask you this: when it comes to photo ops, if you had a chance to meet William Shatner, even with it being a photo op, would you do it?
I would, I would, but the photo it's not even meeting. It's just getting a picture with. It's like, hey, but I would say more. You would meeting someone would be more like at the table,
Mm-hmm.
and it isn't. They're giving their time to talk to you, whether it be a minute or two, or you know. But it's kind of mind boggling that I've never been to these, like, only recently I started going to conventions. I never been to one before, and I kind of feel bad because I really wish I could go back in time, and uh, I really want like Stanley and stuff. Stanley, I really wish I could like go back in time and help stop Stanley from making bad decisions with these organizers or something. And um, but yeah, uh, but it also costs money. You know, they're giving your time for you to sign your stuff, but it comes with a price. So I would recommend it. I recommend a convention. Just it's
Mhm.
someone I would not recommend a big actor because I would recommend medium to small because the medium to small people like another good person I met was Eric Vale. He gave his sweet time to talk to me and my father like 5-6 minutes before and David Hayter. I forgot. I'm forgetting some people. David Hayter also. He's a great guy too. The voice of Solid Snake. Um, I don't recommend people like John D. Lancey. He was kind of a jerk. And I don't recommend uh, another. Well, he might have been tired, but I think D. Bradley Baker was kind of like rude to me. The voice of the Clone Troopers,
Mhm.
but I'm not gonna like dog him on that. Maybe he was just tired that day. So, but John D. Lancey didn't even like glance my direction when I got my autograph. So, I mean, yeah, you could at least act like you want to be there. No, that's all we're asking you. Just
Mhm.
fake smile. But I'll be honest. Remember that character we hated in Picard season 3? The actor, the actor was right there.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, the actor of Captain of the Shaw Captain. He
Yeah,
was
Captain
giving
Shaw.
all those people in his line all the time. He was acting. He was giving them hugs. He was giving them their time and making them like feel like, all right, you want to be in this line.
Mhm.
I'm so glad to meet you all, and thank you for meeting me. And I kind of just sad that the actor of Q, and granted, the actor of Q, he's probably been in this 100 times, so but still, probably my worst convention experience. So here's your, let me give you your autograph. Here's your effing picture.
Yeah, and I've been to conventions too where the actor just seemed like they didn't want to be there. And it's unfortunate. It's like, okay, you were contacted to be at this convention. They obviously paid you well enough where you said yes. So at least for a few moments of your time, be congenial with the fans. Look at them, make eye contact, have a conversation for however long it is. Might be only for a few seconds, might be for a minute or two, but at least ask them how their day is. And
Yeah. By the way, I did watch the trailer for that Predator Badlands just now. I really want to see this movie now that I saw the trailer. uh, I would. We never got the Predator as a hero. We never got as a main character. That's different. I thought it was some girl's gonna be the main character, but no, it's the Predator's the main character this time. And then um, they're also establishing that yes, the Alien and Predator universes they are connected.
I would think so, but just because they have the Alien versus Predator movie doesn't mean that they are, because that was just a special thing. It's like, okay, there was Alien versus Predator in the comics. Why don't we bring it to live action in the movies? But Castor Baron, did you have any questions you want to ask?
Not at the moment, no.
No, just listening.
Yeah, he's a very interesting orca.
Is there anything outside of YouTube that you're looking forward to, Crit?
Well, meeting Cash hopefully in September. It's early, but it's a possibility.
You considering
Um,
that a high point of the year? Oh my word!
yeah.
I'm scared of those orcas too, man. I gotta get
I'm
my
coming to
potion
get
up.
you. Yeah.
Dang orcas.
I'm coming to get you. Cash money. Uh, um, coming to. I mean, the next convention that's coming up, SummerCon. Uh, I'm hopefully gonna get a job soon, so get off the unemployment line. But yeah, I mean it's looking a bright future this year. So yeah, peace and love.
All
Thoughts
right.
on the Enterprise D's said it. Uh, yeah, yeah, special ops.
I thought there were dolphins that were in there on
Well,
D.
that's what Lord X says.
Hmm. Well, I mean that was even before Gutter Decks, but
I know, I know. They just made it official.
uh,
Krit
eh,
had to explain to Cash the film behind the green door.
That's not true. That's what Phil was talking about. I went to go look. I had heard the name before, and I went, "Oh no,
you
why did I
see,
look this up?"
when the guy likes a
Hmm.
gal, they do this little dance,
Right,
dinner, and then
amazing.
then there, then it goes to the process of tab A to slot B,
Oh man.
and
Yes, we do serve as officers. Da, 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 da,
I hear
da.
they're all wet, so I don't know if I
Yep.
trust them.
Mm.
I know,
Mhm.
bad joke of the day. Bad
Boo.
joke of the day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just for you, Crit. I say the good stuff for you.
So will ask you one other thing, Crit. Getting back to your YouTube channel, and it's something I just try to ask guests each and every time they're on. Where do you see your channel 6 months from now or a year from now?
I think we're gonna keep going up. I'm gonna keep posting fan films and whatnot, and I'm gonna keep getting new audiences. And I don't care if the bigger channels puts out like better content, so called better content than me. I'm just doing what I like. So um, people can be fake. I want to keep it real.
Well,
Well,
ever since I met you, you've kept it real, and I was even telling Cash the other day that I'm proud of the work that you put into your channel
Hmm.
and how much it's grown because of that hard work you've put into it.
well, and again, if you don't like it, why do it, right? I mean, if you
Hmm.
really enjoy it, something that you don't feel like you're forcing yourself for others, but it's a natural thing. Go for it, run with it. The moment it becomes tedious is when you gotta start reevaluating everything. Am I doing what I really want to be doing here? So it's a good attitude, great attitude.
Well, also, I mean, the kind of work that Crit does, you can't get it done in just a few days.
No,
It takes months, sometimes a year or more to get everything done because once he has everything set as far as the script is concerned, and you can correct me on any of this, Crit, if you would like, in creating the scenes that he wants to create, then he has to find people who are willing to record the lines and listen to what they've recorded and let them know, okay, I need you to do it more like this and a little less of this. Because I've seen you editing some of your stories, and it's not just a simple, okay, let's slap it here, slap it there, we're done. No.
It takes time to learn.
Hmm.
Yeah.
well, in some
So
ways, I have to sit back and say it's even more than learning. It's the feel. It's where you just know it's something you don't learn. Is the fact that you feel this is
Yeah.
this is what it should be. I'm
When
going
I
completely
started
against what they should teach you to do it, but this is the way it should be.
when I started doing Blender last month, I fell out of my comfort zone and pushed it aside. But now I'm like doing it more, and I'm becoming more like now I'm like able to replicate how I do my camera angles and stuff, and I'm getting
Hmm.
more used to it. And now I'm like binding keys, so now I'm like understanding how to do it simple. Although it's not ever simple. So
No,
None of that stuff is ever simple, dude.
but anything that you work hard for shouldn't be simple. It should
oh,
be hard work, but it should also be a labor of love. That at the end of the day, when you have everything put together and uploaded, it shows. And anytime I've watched your content, it shows. You care about what you're doing. You care about the franchise more than people who are currently in charge of it. And you have a direction of where you'd like to see the franchise go. And it shows that other people want to see it in that direction. And
mhm.
again, I'm proud of you for it.
Thank you.
He just told me the other day, I can't believe how our little orca's growing up.
Well, let's look at it this way. Of all the channels that we've associated with, our
Hmm.
group, with yourself, Cash,
Yep. Hmm.
Paul, myself, Krit has put in so much work
Oh hell yeah.
that he deserves all the credit, all the praise, all the accolades.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And award.
Hmm.
Award. I mean, was it just one, or do you get more than one award?
I got a couple.
Oh,
Best Star Wars fan film. So
I was hoping it
nice.
was going to be a cash prize, but it wasn't.
no, I don't want cash prize. No, I like the recognition. No, I
Your
can win.
credits are
Paper.
no good here.
Maybe
That's
I
the fun
should.
of McDonald's.
Maybe I should make a company and maybe I should make a company and resell lightsabers and then put
I mean, that's up to you,
Orca
man.
sabers. Are you gonna buy it? $600.
Oh, of course.
Here's my six
Paul
hundred
will
dollar
buy it. No, but
lightsaber.
I know Paul spent a lot of money on that, but that's because of the extra stuff that he bought. I get it. Those lightsabers are pretty cool, but even what was the ones that Mexican Iron Man had that were cheaper, but they still look nice. So
Yeah, Mexican Iron Man showed
uh,
him off on the last collector stream that we had last year.
Hmm.
yeah, so you can find good ones for a better price.
Yeah. You know, just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's good. Are better than
Exactly,
another one. Yeah.
exactly. And I get it. People want the bells and whistles, the sounds and stuff, but that's obviously going to always cost money. So.
Well, you got to do it the old-fashioned way. You're the one that's got to make noise.
Right, exactly,
Right.
right.
I
When
mean,
we when we had
honestly.
the old lightsabers that would light up in the dark,
Yep. Well,
those things were
that's
pretty well made, though. I have to say, they certainly last a long time.
that's kind of the thing when George Lucas said that when they started doing Phantom Menace, he had to keep on telling Ewan McGregor, "You don't have to make the noise. We'll add that
It's
in."
funny.
Guess he kept on making the noises.
Well, you can't help yourself. You're like a kid in a
I know
candy
you
store,
can't.
man. You just can't.
Exactly.
Have some badass lightsaber, and those things still look pretty cool back then. Actually, they looked cool. Yeah, they still do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they
I mean,
they changed
considering
some of
the lightsabers were made out of various parts that they found, and even with the blasters, various parts that they thought, oh, this could work.
yes, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yep.
But do you have
But
any words of advice, words of encouragement for anyone who would like to start their own fan films?
Uh, could you repeat that? Sorry, I was distracted.
Do you have any words of advice, words of encouragement to anyone who might be considering doing their own fan films?
Just do it. Find a way. You can do a slideshow. You can animate. Hell, you can even do AI stuff as long as if it's in reason. You're not just taking figuring out this stuff. Just, I think, yeah, just do it. Don't let anyone say no. And if you need help, there's always people that you can ask about for help. Um, but I would say, don't expect to rely on other people to help you make it for you. Because some of this stuff you have to do yourself.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is no one. Not everyone has $1 million to spend.
That's for sure.
Uh, yeah.
Luckily, there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube that people can learn a lot of cool stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
mm-hmm.
And just like with Krit,
Just have to
there's
put
that
time
that
in.
game that he uses for a lot of his fan films as his assets.
Yes, Gmod, yeah. And the other one, yeah. The movie
But
duels, yeah.
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Cash.
Mm-hmm.
But before we wrap it up here, Krit, would you like to promote yourself?
Uh, yes, I will be. Obviously, you can subscribe to the link below. But I will be I'll be releasing the Arcane video with Cash Money soon. Probably in the next week or so. It's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be an hour. It's gonna be probably an hour long. So, uh, I don't even know if Cash is involved in that one. I think he'll be involved in the next one, but something like that. I don't know. And then after that, I'm doing a lot of stuff. So, the big stuff, Plagueis episode 3. I'm taking my time on to work. I'm animating it, so I'm not in a rush to work on it. So, is there anything else?
Well,
Unless Cash or Baron have a question they want to ask you before we get out of here and they promote themselves.
Not that I can think of.
All
yeah.
right. So,
Accept
Baron,
my guest as always.
hmm Baron, what do you have coming up on Baron Orman Tag's Fandom Legacy?
Well, next Monday I hope to have. I didn't get one done this weekend because of everything going on with the weekend of contraband police. So I hope to have that. But today dropped the first one of my gaming stream of Police Simulator, as I like to call it, Fuzz Police Simulator Brighton. Da, 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 da. See, sounds so officially. So that dropped today. So if you want to wander over and take a gander at it, hope you like it. And then, of course, let's see, anything else? Of course, no, I'm going to let Cash promote tomorrow. So, because I've been doing it for so much. Other than that, I don't have much more to say. Back to you, Mike.
All right, let me just grab the link to your newest video.
Oh yeah, and tomorrow I will be filming. I'll be filming something with Pops. So we're going to be having another one of his these things. The other one dropped last week. So if you haven't yet, wander over there and find out what we have to say about the Rocketeer.
Nice.
And
Or go
I'll
back
get
even more a little bit further, see what we had to say about transfers.
I will get that link too.
Mhm. I make Mike work.
And while I'm getting that, Cash, what's coming up on the Phantom Hooligans and Cash Money Madness?
Hooligans.
Hooligans. Well, first I'll promote Beyond, that crazy show with the Norwegian Jace 540 Studios 54. No, I'm just kidding. But we're gonna have Beyond, and that'll be let's see, me, Baron. Who's not going to show up? Let's see. Whoopa probably won't be there. He's probably busy. Hashi, I don't know when we'll ever see Hashi again, Baron.
Mhm.
Kilted will most likely
Was it
be
something I
there.
said?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Prismatics and am I missing someone? Oh, Tom, right? Yeah, Tom.
The Techno Sapien Geek.
Yes, Detective Sapien Geek or whatever. Yeah. but yeah, so that'll be going on around, what is it, 4:10 p.m. my time, so like 6:10 p.m. Barron's time, and then Norwegian time around, I don't know, somewhere around there, right, Barron?
Yeah, who knows?
We don't know.
Yeah, it's Jace.
It's Jace. We
It's
don't know.
Norwegian.
So maybe Baron and I will ditch. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. But
Shh, that's supposed to be quiet. Come
oh yeah,
on.
yeah. Maybe we'll ditch. We'll get some food and stuff. I don't know this Jace guy. He's kind of crazy. No, but yeah. So Beyond will be going on tomorrow on Thursday, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, we'll have some good articles. If we don't, just blame Jace. And
Yep,
then
I always do.
I always blame Jace. Yeah, the articles suck. It's all Jace's fault. So yeah,
Mhm.
you always have to
You
blame
hear that,
somebody.
Jace? Don't worry, I get it all the time for these two.
Do better. No, but yeah. So coming up on well, there's still some stuff unfortunately this week of family stuff. So uh, we got to get things back in order, and then we won't feel like failures anymore. No, we didn't feel like failures anyways because Phil is wrong. But into yeah, that's right. We got to get back to it. What is it, next week? I guess we should finally get back to. Yeah, we get
Waiting
some
on you, man.
Marvel Rivals going. Yeah, get some Marvel Rivals going for the Friday night show. We got to start getting back to that, and we'll start that next week, and it'll be around the same time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll see how that all goes. Uh, that's right, Jace. Uh, yeah, but we got that, and then Cash Money Madness. I think everything will be okay next Tuesday. Oh, right, we still have to wait. Dang it. Okay, so there'll be some stuff coming out soon. Finally on Cash Money Madness. It's just things have been slow, unfortunately, because of family, other things that have been going on. So a lot of content to still do, a lot of videos to still do. I still got to finish part 3 of Another Crab's Treasure, other stuff, Hollow Knight Part 2. These aren't easy games, and just like with Mike's attitude, we don't want things easy. Life is not really easy, so why should gaming be easy for us?
Oh, I could tell you that the boss fight I had during last night's live stream.
Yeah, I'm sure. Um,
I was so pissed off after I ended the stream that I deleted the stream, and then I'm sitting there. I'm going, no, this is not how it's gonna end.
yeah,
So I ended up playing it again, but I hit the record button this time.
yep. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plan this out, and I'll do it on a day where Mike. I don't know. Even if it's on a Tuesday and he doesn't feel like playing a game, we'll have to. We got to finish Evil West this week or next week or whatever. This I should say in the next few months we should finish that. So that's coming up. But I want to. I know Baron really is chomping at the bit. I'm sure Mike is too, and we'll get that Marvel Rivals. Thank goodness they added something. I think a lot of people started having problems with the game that it wasn't running well, and they gave us an option for computers that don't have as good of video cards to run the game, and it runs pretty well. So I got it to run on medium on this computer because I'm not upgrading yet, so it's going to be a little while. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Oh, when I saw that setting just before you officially launched the game, I'm going to tell Cash about this. This might actually help him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
of course, I had my fingers crossed, hoping it would. But
yeah,
also thinking, what if it doesn't help him? Then he's back to square one again, at least on that computer.
right, right. So I got that to work. I don't know.
Unfortunately, it worked though.
Unfortunately, words. Yeah. I don't know. I do not like playing competitive with randoms. I'm like,
Oh, I hate that. I hate
we're
it.
gonna have to play competitive, Mike, because I need to work on my record. I'm like, I feel like they don't push. in the
They don't.
game. It's
They don't.
annoying. And then they
I,
go,
I
"Oh,
was
this is bronze," and people are bronze. It's like I say to people, I says, "Don't we need at least 2 healers every time in the group?" Uh,
you can do it with just one healer, but that person has to be on their game.
yes. I'm like, why am I still doing competitive on bronze when people aren't going to care enough? Like, all I'm going to do is just keep getting defeats, and how does that help?
Yeah, that's
It's
what was
stupid.
happening to me on Sunday. I was playing competitive. It's like, come on, we've got an opportunity to push. Let's do it. Let's push. I
Yeah.
mean, heck, I was Penny Parker, and I managed to push the enemy back. It's like, come on, let's go. Let's move it.
Yes. Yep. Just this is competitive. People should take this a little bit more seriously, but they
Hmm.
don't care. And so it's like all you're doing is just racking up the defeats and competitive, and it's annoying. So
And
yeah,
then
right. What's a healer exactly?
I'm playing along. I'm all, where are my fucking heals?
Yeah, seriously. Like the healers need to, and people still run off even in competitive, and it's like, come on,
Hmm.
I don't care if this is bronze or not. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, it's those things are annoying. And one thing about gaming not being niche anymore, and it may sound like complaining and stuff, but
Yeah.
when there's more people around, there's just like mo money, more mo problems. It's the same thing with more people around, more issues, especially because of age range and so on, who are playing these games and they don't care. And then they like want to complain to each other and yell chat or whatever, orange chat, general chat, whatever you want to call it. It's just like it's a waste of your time because unless they're putting at least 110% into it, you're like, wow, we lost, but at least we put up a good fight.
Hmm.
Then what's the point? So yeah,
I mean, that's the thing too. You could have matches in Marvel Rivals, and I don't know if you've played Rivals at all, Crit, but you can have matches in Marvel Rivals, especially
Yeah.
when you're playing with your friends, and you're trying to push back, and there are times you can't push back because that team on the other side is just better than you.
yeah, they are, and they also go and they're at your spawn, and then you're just like, what is going on with this? This is awful. Like we got
Same
to
with
find a way
Overwatch.
to get. Yeah,
Reminds me of classic Overwatch.
yeah, yeah, the good one. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But I think from now on, Mike, when I play competitive, I'm gonna play
Get good.
play competitive with you, man, because I just need somebody else there. I can't. Everybody else that's random. When I went through
Get
that
good.
recently, it was just I did fine. I was getting kills. It's just other people are just not pushing, and they're just. It's like, come on, guys, let's do what we can do, and
Yeah.
it's just silly.
Uh, you
Yeah.
gotta,
Well, the four of us should team up one night on Marvel Rivals and see how well we do.
Yeah, we could if Krit wants to
you're
play. I don't
talking.
know if he wants.
You're talking to a former master ranked Overwatch player in competitive.
Well, Marvel Rivals is a little bit different, but yes,
Uh, uh,
skills and other stuff are different than.
skills.
Capture people's skill is horrible.
No, yours are, Baron.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to playing Marvel Rivals on stream with you guys. I know I've been playing it with Shane, Does, and Fat Steven and a few other people a few times, but again, gotta work as a team.
Yes.
You gotta train hard. You gotta live, eat, breathe, drink. Marvel Rivals.
Right.
Looking at you, looking at you, Baron. Looking at you.
What? Hey, if you
He
can
did.
dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. That's all I
That's
gotta
right.
say.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of people don't seem to want
And
to
remember, who,
develop.
who carried you that one game? Me.
A lot of people don't seem to want to develop people skills for some reason. They need to. So,
Yeah.
especially in the gaming, like we had to make decisions with Vermintide 2, but look at all the progress we made. It took a while, but That's
Yeah,
not an
yeah,
easy game.
but here's the
Dark
thing.
Tide's not
We
either,
haven't played
but it seems a little easier.
Vermintide and
I
Darktide in
know.
so long.
I know.
We're
I
gonna be
know.
out there. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah.
I don't remember what to do. And then
Yeah.
Anonymous
Oh,
is
I
gonna have to come
remember.
in. He's all, yeah, I'm gonna have to carry your guys' ass
Yeah,
in
right.
Vermintide
Oh,
too.
he always
Yeah.
says that though.
Yeah,
Little dwarf.
but yeah, if you guys want to get back to that, we will. I mean, there's still things to do in both those games, so
Yeah.
there's always stuff to do. We have
Yeah.
that.
Plus, we have the super
Mhm.
secret game that
Yes, we do. That I
we
know Baron's been put a lot of time into, so yeah.
he's put
Mhm.
more time into it than I. So
Yeah, me too.
just like I was just getting on his case about rivals. I need to
Yes.
take a day where I have the time to do so and really get into the super secret game that we want to stream together.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then coming up, since we're gonna get back things in order on the Phantom Hooligans, and then Cash Money Madness. Cash Money Madness is just like that channel is gonna be reserved for things like Dark Forces Remastered, because YouTube's going to ding me for something, and Rumble will not, as far as I know. So,
I
but
didn't have any issues on the Rumble side with Dark Forces. It was the
right,
YouTube side
yeah,
because
I get tired of that
of the
stuff.
music, the copyright claim on the music.
Hmm. Yep. So we'll see how that all goes, but yeah, we got to get Evil Dead finished. Then Mike and I
Evil
got to.
West,
I mean, Evil
Evil
West.
West.
Yes, Evil Dead's another multiplayer game, but yes, Evil West. And then we also got to start a split fiction, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You and I were
I
talking about
remember.
Split Fiction because you
Yeah,
gifted me that for my
yeah.
birthday.
That's a game that's supposed to be good for couples and friends and all kinds of stuff.
Hey,
Oh,
hey, whoa, whoa, whoa,
oh,
whoa,
That's just
whoa,
how it's
whoa.
presented. I'm not. That's not my
Whoa,
word. That's their
whoa,
word.
whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold on a minute, there, buddy.
I
Right.
think
That
Cash has made a major move in your relationship.
No.
hold on there a minute, buddy. Nope, nope, no, no,
That's
no.
no. When I read it was for playing with friends, it was fine. If it was only for the one thing, I'm like, no, no, I'm not getting this for. Yeah, because that was a present I bought for Mike, one of the games. So,
Yeah.
I when I read that, I went, okay, is this only for this? Okay. Whew.
Will you be my friend?
Come on, man. Use the
Oh,
friend code.
don't say that, Tree Rock.
Mm.
Don't say that. You
Yeah,
join us. You're the one that's gonna be carrying us. Hey, look at him
yeah.
go! All right, just follow his lead.
But yeah, Evil West will be fun to finally complete, and Mike will be able to complete that with somebody else and not by
Yeah,
himself. And so he learned a lot from
I
before,
did.
which is cool. So
I did. I had to go through the game again and change my attributes and skill
yeah,
level. And
we had fun with River City Girls too. Oh my gosh, some of that game though, we put that on the hardest difficult. Man, that game kicked our ass sometimes.
very funny, Jace. Very funny.
uh,
Wise ass.
yeah,
Yeah, River City Girls too, but we also had connection issues, and
yeah,
it's
funny
like, come
Jays.
on,
Very
game,
funny.
come on.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, exactly. It's just there still needs to be more multiplayer games. I don't know if we even want to play like the original Battlefront. We could, or Battlefront 2, or even the newer one, but even that one, they still need more heroes and villains. And yes, it's cool there's certain modding, but they don't they replace other characters. They don't add to it, which is a bummer. So, yeah.
Well, remember, Tree Rock, I'm the guy that likes to ramble it in the group. I'm the one that's gonna go out there guns blazing and probably dying where Cash and Barrett are gonna have to drag my body off the battlefield.
But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff coming up on the Phantom Hooligans and Cash Money
Hooligans.
007 on Twitch, and then Cash Money Madness on Rumble, but the Rumble channels are usually going to be if I want to push the boundaries on stuff, because YouTube might get mad with some of the things I say. Might.
No, they do.
Yep. So the Twitch channel, I'm glad Phil actually recommended it a while back, because having the restream is nice. I'm glad that was made.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Anything else, Cash?
No, just we just got to get the multiplayer Fridays also back in order, so I'll work on that. We gotta. I'm glad you like Marvel Rivals, Baron. I'm glad you enjoy playing Punisher. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's better with friends, and
Yes, always.
Yeah, that's what I would say to anybody. You can play by yourself, but you have a lot more playing with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Phrasing.
I think people get what I'm saying, Baird.
Have you seen our
Yeah.
DJ Ronnie
Ah.
G?
You know what I haven't done for several episodes is mute either one of you off the stream. I haven't done that in a while, have I?
Not yet.
Don't get me started.
Baron's just waiting for it.
He keeps pushing the buttons, thinking, why is he booting me off? He usually boots me off by now.
Right? Yep.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as long as you don't have anything else
Nope.
to promote, okay. So what's coming up on Pacific414? Well, tomorrow, for those of you who saw that original stream before I deleted it, you will see me beat those two bosses when the video goes live at 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
Is there going to be
Because
commentary, or is it just
no commentary.
Oh, just like the
No,
aliens isolation
no,
thing, Baron?
Cash, understand my mindset. I was pissed. I wanted to get it
That's
done.
okay. We want to hear the screaming. It's fine.
I wanted to get it done. I muted myself. I hit the record button. And I said, let's get this done, damn it. So that video will be available at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night on both the YouTube and Rumble channels. So tune in. Make sure you leave a like on that video, share it out, leave your comments, and I think everybody pretty much knows what I was probably saying as they watch it. I mean, if you've been here long enough, you pretty much know what I'm going to say in a game at certain points. And then this Saturday is special, isn't it, Baron?
Yes, it is.
It is special because this Saturday on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, will be the premiere live stream of The Adventure Continues, a Star Trek discussion. And with The Adventure Continues, a Star Trek discussion, if anyone hasn't heard, it's where each and every other Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we take a specific episode from a series. Doesn't matter what season, doesn't matter what series, but we take a specific episode that's going to be discussed. But we're also going to be watching that specific episode. We're going to be giving our commentary on that episode. Of course, everyone who comes into the chat is more than welcome to watch that episode along with us in Cosme. And we're going to have a discussion. And the episode that Baron and I will be discussing, this is Baron's pick, and I was perfectly okay with it because whenever a guest comes on, it's the specific episode of their choice. We are going to be talking about Where No Man Has Gone Before, but not just any cut of Where No Man Has Gone Before. You're not just going to be seeing just any cut of Where No Man Has Gone Before in the Cosby side. You're going to be seeing the original cut of Where No Man Has Gone Before at 8 p.m. Eastern this Saturday night. And folks, you're in for a treat. For some of you who've only seen the version of the episode that aired on NBC, you're in for a treat with the original cut of Where No Man Has Gone Before. And also, when we get to 2 hour episodes that specifically aired as 2 hour episodes, we're going to be watching those 2 hour episodes as if they're a movie. Same with the movies. And of course, with two parters that weren't 2 hour episodes, for one Saturday, we'll watch part one. Then the next Saturday that we do The Adventure Continues, we'll talk about part two. We'll watch part two. But for the most part, with the exceptions of the 2 hour episodes that were 2 hour TV movies or the movies themselves, most of these live streams, that I can hear some people chuckling when I say this, but most of these live streams will be 2 hours tops. And the reason why I say I can hear most people chuckling is because of the fact I don't usually do anything under 2 hours or at 2 hours. But for this, I'm keeping it tight. I'm even reminding myself, keep it to 2 hours, with some exceptions being the 2 hour TV episode or the movies. So that's what's coming up. I'm looking forward to this because After Baron is our special guest on the 26th, this Saturday, May 10th. DJ Ronnie G will be joining me, and we will be talking about Tomorrow is Yesterday. But of course, for the rest of this week, going into next week, there will be the Sunday edition of Pacific414 Pop Talk on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, more Rise of the Ronin. And then this Wednesday, gentlemen, it's going to be adult theater. Adult theater, as in Good Morning Vietnam. Yes, it's going to be a double feature with Good Morning Vietnam and a movie that Cash and I have told Barrett, "Oh, you're going to laugh. You're going to love this movie." And we're going to watch Old School. Ain't that right, Cash? You my boy, Blue. You my boy. So next Wednesday, double feature watch party. Now I am gonna have restrictions for the Cosme side because these are more adult oriented movies. And I don't want someone coming into the Cosme side who shouldn't be on the Cosme side. If you get my drift. And those aren't going to be only movies I add the restrictions for. Because when we watch Blazing Saddles and Heavy Metal in June, those restrictions will be there too. And as far as what's coming up for watch parties in May, well, there's another movie that's going to have a restriction on it. It's going to be Goodfellas. So we're going to be watching Goodfellas on Cosme. But before we watch Goodfellas on Cosme, we're going to be watching Galaxy Quest. And you know the motto here: never give up, never surrender. And then we're going to see Cash and Baron take a road trip and try to sell brakes. Not just any brakes, Callahan Auto Brakes. We're going to watch Tommy Boy next month. So that is what's coming up on Pacific414. Krit, thank you very much for being our guest.
Thank you for having me.
If there's anything else you want to add, please go ahead and add it. The floor is yours, brother.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? I don't know what to say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have a good Wednesday night. And if we don't see you the rest of the week, have a great weekend. And always remember the motto here on the channel: don't ever give up on me in a game, because just when you do, you might miss something. And I'm just going to read some of these chats. And of course, Tree Rock is saying to me, as far as trying to keep the adventure continues to 2 hours, 2 hours tops, we'll see about that. And he also adds, I get what you're saying. I still need to create an account. No problem. No problem. And Jay says Rebel Moon is good. Krit, any response?
It's crap. I'm glad you like it. It's not my cup of tea.
So, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. And if you haven't done so already, please go over to Lord Krit's channel, Everest Productions. Give him a subscribe. Follow him on X. And give Cash and Baron a subscription and follow. And have yourselves a great night.
Autobots, transform and roll out!